Fleming here.
Oh, I just coughed a lung up. Oh,
That was funny.
I think I just coughed somebody else's lung up. Oh, hello. You just missed a proper. You just missed a proper Bob Fleming farmer's cough there for about 2 minutes.
Oh, mate, that was so funny.
Oh, wow.
Feel better, Bob.
I don't know. I've never tasted my own esophagus before. Trachea, one of the two. Hey everyone. Hello. Welcome.
And welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. I don't know where that was going. I kind of got stuck in a loop. Warhammer Sunday, that time of the week when Colin and I sit around and we try and do some work. try and do some work and talk rubbish for 2 or 3 hours. Before we get going, of course, as always, before we get going, let's go get all the boring stuff out of the way. Big massive thank you to my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk, your one-stop shops for all your tabletop and model making needs. You can see the logos in the top right there. They support this channel. There's links to both of those stores in the description below the video. Use those links, don't just go to their websites, because those are my affiliate links. It tells them I sent you, and I make tons of money. I don't make tons of money, but I make pennies. So I make a little bit of money off that, so whenever you order anything. So do use those links. And of course, my patrons and channel members who support me directly, pay my wages, keep food on my table, and who I love dearly. Big thank you to them, because without them I wouldn't be able to do this. So big thanks to my patrons and members. If you want to become one of those, you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru and become a patron, or you can press the join button on the bottom of any of my videos to become a channel member. You get exclusive access to all kinds of goodness, and you get access to the live 24/7 video Zoom hangout, which is open to patrons and members. And you also get a Facebook chat text thing linked to that as well if you don't want to do the camera stuff. So do consider becoming an member or an patron. Hello. And helping out this channel massively. Now with me as always is my very, very good friend Colin from Festa67's workshop.
Hello, gang.
Who also has Patreon and membership, so go to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop and spread the love with him as well. And click the join button underneath any of his video content and you become a member of his channel as well. And you still get access to the 24/7 because it's both of us that do that. So
absolutely.
Now, some sad news today. It's not really sad. Simon's not with us. Kevin Reynolds is not with us today. He's not feeling too great today, so he might pop in later on, but he's having a day off. So take care, buddy.
Love you, Si.
Love you, Si. Like and subscribe.
He's seen you already.
He's probably watching, so that means I just realised that means we've got to do our own chat again, though, doesn't it?
I know, we're pants at that, mate.
Damn it.
We are useless.
Si, your feelings are irrelevant. Get here, we need you to read the chat. I'm only joking. Yeah, big hugs to Si. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Absolutely.
But anyway, how the devil are you today, Colin, over at Festa67's workshop?
Fine and dandy, Foxx at modelmakingguru.com.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
We are crap, aren't we? Let's be honest. I'm all right, mate. I am fine and dandy.
Awesome.
I have been fettling again before we went live, and I'm suitably chastised.
I know, he always cleans it up nicely afterwards, though, but he's always fettling before the camera goes on.
I know, I'm terrible.
Every time I join the hangout, he's sitting there fettling, and it's like, just, I don't want to watch that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, no, I'm fine, mate. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of touch-up on the kill rig. Steady, Neris. And, yeah, just seeing where I go with it today, really.
Let's have a look at your kill rig, then, so we can see where you're up to. I'll put you on the full screens.
Put down base layers. Started doing a bit of chippage.
Mm-hmm. There's so many things on there going on. It's just endless nonsense, isn't it?
There's a bit of stealth checkerage going on, but I'm going to go over some of the chips now with a bit of silver and a bit of undercolour, so it doesn't look too samey, if that makes sense.
You say?
Yeah.
All right,
undercoat.
My fans are going on a bit. Let me just double check nothing's going wrong. Yeah, everything's fine.
You've got a super chat there from Marcus Brunn.
Oh, Marcus. There we go, it's in my ear. Spreading the love, like and subscribe in the voice of Foxx. No way I can recreate that in text form. There's no way to write a lateral lisp, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Cheers, Marcus.
Thank you very much, Marcus. That's very kind of you.
He's massively happy now because he's feeling the love.
Beep. beep, 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 beep.
So
yes.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, mate. A bit more chipping, a bit more bone work to do, bit of dawn stone and stuff.
Like a nice bone, don't you?
Yeah, and then obviously you got the squig. You know, he probably have a few washes.
Yeah.
See where we go with it today. Just see how I get on, mate.
Did you have any idea how awesome that looks? Just enormous thing of nonsense.
You know what I'm like, mate. I don't really like looking at my own work, do I? As a rule. But,
yeah, shut up.
Yeah,
it's good. But, you love it. Big yourself up, dude.
Right.
Big yourself up, dude.
Yeah, right.
Right. Why is my fan shouting at me? My fan's doing lots of fanny work. Fanny work? That's not right.
It's not my fan you can hear, is it? Because I've got my fan on.
No, it's just my fan's a bit louder than normal. It's not doing a lot more work than normal. Maybe things are a bit warm. Maybe
you haven't got the stream running in the background, have you, mate?
No. 89% CPU, that's not right. Right, what's running that I don't know about?
You in Chrome?
I'm in Edge. Edge!
Oh.
No, I've got nothing nothing running more than normal. Yeah.
No. Oh, how weird. Keep an eye on that,
Just
mate.
double check I've got Windows thingy updates off. I think I have.
Yeah, you've not got a Windows update in the background, have
No,
you?
turn that off. Let me see if I can open my window to get some cool air to the computer. I may knock the camera, so don't panic if the camera wobbles.
No, that's all right. Do you want me to do a bit of chat dollying whilst you're doing that? Okay, let's just clean off my brush.
Window. Hang on, I've got to move the camera now.
Clean that off and I'll do a bit of chat dollying.
Clean your bits.
Right, let's have a looky-look to see who we got in.
Who we got?
Andy McLeish finally found a band that Foxx would love. Tardigrade Inferno.
Yay, tardigrades. Tardigrades are the best. It is well known.
Jeff is in Candygram for Mongo.
Candy's gone all French, has he? Candygram.
Yeah, it says hi to Andy Fester Foxx, the omnipresent voice of Psy, and all who will be in the chat. Andy saying hello to me. Marcus is saying hello, afternoon, evening, Colin and Foxx, and all in chat. Andy's letting you know that Tardigrade plays a kazoo.
I love tardigrade. Tardigrade's the best thing ever. They're better than dinosaurs. I hate to say it, but they are better than dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The only thing that's better than dinosaurs. Oh, hang on. We fell out. There we go, straight away. Oh. Stand by, chaps and chapesses. Stand by. Connecting now. Oh, there we go.
And he's back. There you go. Andy was saying to Marcus Lampisaurus,
Lampisaurus.
Wendy Hickson's in. Huge hugs all round.
Hey, Wendy.
She says, hello, Wendy. Hello,
big
my
hugs.
darling.
Big hugs.
Paul D. Tommaso's in. Says, hello, everyone. Looks like the clocks went ahead an hour today. Oh, did they?
I don't know. Unless because we're starting at 5. I do start later at the moment because Mama Fox's schedule is a bit weird. So I can't go back to the 3 till 6 like just yet because of Mama Foxx. So.
What else is there? Eric is in. Twisted Rail Hobbies saying afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, Eric.
Hello,
right,
welcome.
What else is going on there? Paul D. Tommaso. Oh yeah, we've read that
Paul.
one. And Andy McLeish is saying, Cy Reynolds, all hail the voice of the squig.
Squig!
There you go, mate. Bit of chat dollying.
Yeah, thank you very much. After Andy McLeish does say you can put a lisp in chat, it goes like this, you think. Yeah, but that's a normal lisp, not a lateral lisp. A lateral lisp is when it comes out the side of your mouth like that. Yes, not this. It's not a tongue on the teeth TH, it's more like a SCH from the side. Like that. I can't explain it. One of my friends has got a very delicate lateral lisp. I didn't know it was called lateral lisp until I read about it, and I was like, oh, it's a lateral lisp. Oh, cool.
Oh, it's a lateral lisp.
Lateral lisp.
Yes. Not an ordinary lisp, but a lateral lisp.
Lateral lisp. It's like the tongue touches the roof of the mouth, not the teeth.
Oh, right.
And the air goes round the side. Lisp. Lisp. You have to... There's no... I can't explain it. Like and subscribe. I don't know why I do the funny pronunciation for the other bits of the words, but it's just funny. I don't know where that came from. I don't know.
I think there was a channel that we had come across that had something along them lines, wasn't it? Without going into detail.
Well, I was taking the mickey out of people that do rubbish video names like "My first tank build, like and subscribe."
Yeah.
Which doesn't help anybody wanting to watch their comment. Also, the camera's really far away. I'm just going to go full screen for a sec so I can sort my camera.
Yeah, no worries. You do what you got to do.
Boop, zip, beep, boop. Get myself back in focus.
He's on form. He's on form.
There
folks.
we go. Right, today I will be doing enamel streaking. I have done the enamel streaking, or at least part of the enamel streaking, on the body of the tank.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which on a webcam looks garbage because it's all dark and ominous, but it's had streaking done all around it.
Showed up well on the photos you put up, though.
Yes, it looks alright on photos. It's got dirty barrels, filthy dirty barrels.
Yeah. Right, dirty barrels, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and the best way to do streaking underneath is just to slather it all over and then get a big brush full of thinner and go, because you're never going to see that anyway. So the underneath is just messy times. So there's still loads left to do, but that's the initial streaking done on there. It's just a grime coat for that. I've got to do some rusty spots and stuff at some point, so that's yet to come.
Yeah.
But I've not done the turret yet, so I'll be doing that today.
Oh, nice.
I hear creeping outside.
Oh, is that stealth Mama Foxx?
Hello, Mama Foxx. Yeah, stealth Mama Foxx.
Yeah, bless her.
Right, so that's what I'll be doing. So anyway, you been up to much this week, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, let's just clean me brush off.
You mean you can't paint and talk at the same time? You're rubbish, you are.
No, it's just because I like to pay attention to the questioner.
Oh, well, you don't pay attention to me. There's no benefit to that at all.
Yeah, I've been doing me Torino.
Oh, that's got the 2K clear coat on it now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it looked fantastic before it had that on, but that just looks like a real thing.
So I've been doing that and building a bit on me digger of goodness.
Diggularity.
And obviously primed the E-Models bike, so I've been doing a bit of that, mate.
Awesome sauce.
And you're going to now tell me that this week you've done nothing again, aren't you?
This week I've done nothing. And no, I've been streaking that. I did varnish and I started the weathering on that yesterday, so I've done that.
Oh, you've been productive then.
I've been a little bit productive, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not massively.
No, but
Spider pig.
better than nothing, isn't it?
I got a spider pig, so I'm happy, yeah.
I thought I'd got away with that.
No, you'd get away with nothing. Not with a Yeti microphone.
That and your earring.
Well, yeah, I do have ears like the poop house rat, don't I?
Absolutely.
And McLeish says, "Kazoo!" Is that like shouting Yahtzee?
Yeah.
Yahtzee! Mousetrap!
God, mousetrap.
My brothers always said they wanted mousetrap, and I'm like, why? Once you do it, you've done it, it's done. It's like...
Yeah. No one played the game, did they? They just built the entire thing, wound the handle a few times, got the bloke to dive into the bowl, and it's like, yeah, done that. What's next?
Yeah, next. Now I'm passing my Bionic Man Steve Austin space rocket. Oh, that was a great thing I had one Christmas.
Yeah, I had that.
What, the space rocket?
Steve Austin and the space rocket.
Oh, that was like 3 foot tall, wasn't it?
Yeah, the operating theatre, wasn't it, with the lights? Used to put it all together.
Oh, I don't remember the operating theatre bit. Oh, maybe I didn't have that. Oh.
Yeah, the rocket that he went in, you used to assemble it a slightly different way, and the rockets become the operating theatre lights. You had all the tubage that used to go in these bionics. Yeah.
Wow, I must have forgotten about that. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you had all of that, mate.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I've obviously long forgotten that. And do you remember Mascotron?
Yeah. Have you seen how much money that stuff all goes for on eBay?
Oh, it's crazy money.
It's mad, isn't it? It's like, damn, I wish I'd kept mine. Mind you, I'd still played with it.
Well, I'd be weathering it.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh yes.
I don't know why Steve Austin had a space rocket, because in episodes he never actually went into space anyway. So
No.
I don't know. Now we'll put him in a submarine. What? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it was like Oscar Goldman and his exploding briefcase, wasn't it? It was like, yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact you got an action figure of Oscar Goblin who was just the bloke he was just the man behind the desk and gave the missions. I never did anything.
See, I've now discovered the ultimate brush holder is the kill rig itself, purely by accident.
I like that.
And you can do it the correct way up with the bristles down. Look at that.
I'll tell you what I've been doing when because I've been using these brushes for enamels, and I can't be bothered getting. I don't want to get my brush rack out because I'll mix it in with my non-enamel brushes. I've been using this tube of cocktail sticks. I put the tube on, put the brush in. It just sits there. It's like one of them. You remember you get them like. You ever see those things where it's like a thing for pulling bolts off, but it's got little circles in it, and it just forms around the bolt and then locks in place.
Yeah. I know the easy outs.
It's like millions of little metal.
Yeah.
It's like that tube of cocktail sticks. Funnily enough.
See, it's knowledge like this. This is why you're an award-winning guru.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say something.
Yes, you was. You was itching, Gunner. Please tell them, Cole. Please tell them. Please, tell them about my award that I won.
I was not.
Yeah, you were.
You're not wrong.
Yes, I am now in the blessed company. We're in the wrong place there. I am in the blessed company of an award-winning guru.
Ooh.
Oh, look at him. He's like, stop it. Congratulations.
Give over.
Would you like to tell the audience about your award that you won in all your winningness mode?
Well, I'll tell you what I know, which is not a lot. But I received word last night that I had actually won an award. Sort of. What was that? I don't know what that was. Our friend
shaking.
Shaking. Our friend George. Remember George? I built the big Sazabi for him, and I did the pink Hello Kitty Lehman Russ and some other bits and bobs. Our very good friend George is an outstanding painter, and he took one of his builds to the local IPMS model show yesterday. And unbeknownst to me, if you remember, I made that big Borderlands Sazabi for him, the Borderlands Shanghai Dragon Sazabi. Unbeknownst to me, until he was on the way there and sent me a picture of it in the back of his car, he entered that as well. He entered one of his own models, one of his own paint jobs, and my Sazabi. My fan is still going really full whack. I need to clean my computer out. He entered my Sazabi. And he said, I've entered it into the thing. I'm like, oh well, that's not going to get anywhere, but cool. Let's see how it does. A few hours later, he came back and said, "You only won the whole goddamn show, first place, best in show." I'm like, what? No, what? Apparently, George got a sort of not second place, but like the next thing up. Yeah. For best paint job, I got best in show apparently for the Sazabi, for the local IPMS show. Now, I don't know, how big a show it was. It was just a local show. I don't know, but it's IPMS, so you know how strict the judges are at IPMS. Whether it's a local show or a national show, it doesn't really matter. They're quite strict. But yeah, apparently I won a medal and a trophy, which lights up apparently.
Yeah, it's still an award, mate.
I know.
Still an award.
I was well chuffed, and it's like, but if you know me and Colin, you know that we don't enter competitions because we're not of that mindset.
No.
It's not that I don't want people to tell me how brilliant I am and give me awards, because I'd love that, because I'm a mercenary at the end of the day, and if I can have people around me telling me I'm brilliant, then I'm not going to say no. Nobody's going to deny that, but at the same time, I'm not that shallow. But I do it for the fun, really. So
yeah, it's not why we do it, is it?
No, and I don't think up until this exact moment, I didn't think I'm anywhere near good enough to win awards anyway. There's people much better than me.
And what would you say to me if I had just made that statement?
I'd say shut up and enter it anyway. No,
you'd say shut up and stop putting yourself down, dear.
Yeah, I know.
But it's just how we are, isn't it?
Do as I say, not as I do.
We are so British.
Yeah. So I'm like, I did not expect that.
No, but congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much. So you can expect now for me to have the words award-winning in every logo everywhere, in big flashing letters, big fat bold letters that flash, animated and everything.
That's what we was laughing about before we came live, wouldn't it? It'd be, oh yes, award-winning host, model making guru. I won an award, Yes, did I tell you that I'd won that award?
Yeah. I'll have a little thing at the start of the show saying, winner of one award.
Yeah, but look at it now on your eBay. For sale, blah, 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 painted by award-winning artist.
Yeah. So I was well made up anyway. So.
Thanks and well done to George as well.
Yeah,
by the
massive
way.
thank you to George, and congratulations to George because he won as well. He got an award as well.
God, his paintings come on so much.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I was more surprised that George didn't get first place because his painting skills are just incredible.
Yeah.
Because we've always said, we've said many times, like for those of you who've been around for a long time, you'll know there's a couple of people we've sort of made friends with over the years. One is Kenneth in Australia, one is George.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Kenneth for a while, but both of them kind of came from nowhere in terms of painting. Hello, Mama Foxx. Both of them started from scratch at the very beginning, only a handful of years ago, and they've kind of got into the hobby through people like me and Colin and stuff. And they're better painters than all of us.
Like, taking it to a whole new level, haven't they?
Yeah, like Kenneth painted his first model like 2 or 3 years ago, and now he paints better than everybody, and same with George.
Stunning work, absolutely stunning.
It's like we teach them and they end up better than us. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, but it's kind of flattering as well.
It's not really like that. It's nice.
It's nice to see them come on and their confidence grow. And
I love it though, because it's like you were saying the other week, where how I paint to a certain level and I'm happy at that level, because that's the level I teach. It always makes me happy when somebody comes along, say, not necessarily from my stuff, but from my stuff, or people I know stuff, gets to that level and exceeds it, like Kenneth and George have done. They've looked at my stuff, said, I want to do that, done it, and then gone even further, and it's like, that's why I do it.
Absolutely, and they like, I want to now go and do this, or I want to try and recreate what Duncan does, or whatever. And for us, it's satisfying because we're not sort of sitting here going, we're the best at this, we're a Warhammer Oracle, we're like, this is how we do it, this is the level we can teach you to, and then if they want to go on and go further, they can do what they like. Best thing to do when you're starting out is learn to paint to a certain level, then just dive out, figure out. It's immensely gratifying when you see how they've developed. I mean, George, I look at his work now, it's like it's two different people, isn't it?
Well, when somebody's gone well beyond what I teach them, because basically George understands colour theory. I haven't got a bloody clue about colour theory. I think that looks good. I look at some of the YouTube videos where they talk about like colours, and it's like I don't even remember the colour wheel. I couldn't tell you what colour is opposite to what. I just no idea. Yeah. I just make stuff.
But that's the thing. He's put in the time. He's done his research. And learnt that side of things, and it shows in his work now.
Yeah.
And he's put the work in at the end of the day, so props to him. Fair play to the fella.
And that's why, in all honesty, I was more surprised that he didn't get first place. I was like, what? Hang on, you didn't get first place? Are these guys idiots? They're giving it to me? What?
But also, George is very humble, isn't he? He's...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Very humble with his Dodge Challenger and his... Then again, that's probably a humble car to Americans, so...
Yeah, but, where his work's concerned...
Oh, I know. He's a good lad.
But,
so there you go.
Massive congrats to them.
All right. Big congrats and big thank you to George for putting it in, the cheeky little bugger. Steady, Neris.
I'm having that.
Bomb, IDI.
So what you did there.
You see what I did there?
I am impressed.
There's a lot of people that won't know what that means, but never mind. Right, what I'm doing, in case anybody's wondering by that, what I'm doing at the minute is really far from the camera. That's a bit rubbish. Remove the camera.
Unlike you.
People can't see what I'm doing. What I'm doing at the minute is putting down an enamel streaking coat. That's a bit rubbish. Hang on, let me see if I can get that proper.
You want to put yourself full screen, mate?
I am going to. I'm just putting an enamel streaking coat down. Let me just focus it properly so you can see. Why is my fan going billy out? I need to hoover my computer out, obviously.
Sounds like you need a good old dung out in there. Do you remember I said to you recently I'd done my server?
Yeah, I probably just need to go in there and...
The amount of crap that I got out of there.
Oh, God,
honestly, I could pick it up and the dust stayed the same shape as the capacitors on the motherboard.
Excuse me, it's probably like a layer of fur on my CPU fan. Yeah, it's been a few months. I need to hoover it out. I might do that later. But because it is a little bit warmer today. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm going around with my streaking grime, which is dark streaking grime, AMIG 1206, which is greeny colour. I'm applying it to recesses and panel lines, and then I'll go and fettle with it. On a horizontal surface, all you can do is like post shading, but when I get to the vertical surfaces, I can use it for streaking, which is not too. It's quite fun and quite simple. It's quite easy. Oh, I've missed some rivets out there.
Yeah, but it just adds a bit of texture to it, doesn't it? A bit of dimension.
Gives it some dirt and grime. So I'm going to give that a 5 or 10 minutes to just dry a little bit. So I'll do some chat dollying and have a swigulation of that. I would normally just hair dryer it, but I don't like hair drying when I'm on the telly, because then I just go silent because I have to turn the microphone off.
Oh, bless you.
So yeah, so this kind of like post shading with this effect, all you need is your streaking grime and thinner, and that's it. Do streaking coats. George Gabriel. Oh, George is in chat. He says award winning. Hey, George. Hello. Candygram says award winning.
Yes.
Congratulations. The Sazabi is a work of art. I don't know what George submitted. Make sure to send us a picture of. Put it in the boom hut, George, of what you put in, because I don't know what he. Was it one of your giant ogre things? Because they're awesome. George says,
mate, the tattoos he did on that was stunning, weren't they?
George says, got a light up trophy, have to figure out how to send to you. 700 plus entries, not that small. Wow. Wow. Candygram says, international award winning to boot. It's true, actually.
Yeah. Oh, international man of mystery.
So I'm internationally renowned award winning artist. Ooh. My business card needs to get longer. I'm just copying what I learned from you blokes, says George. You were up until the point that you got to our level and then just barrelled on past it and became awesome.
It's nice to see you take it to that level, George, because you've put the work in. You've spent a lot of time and effort learning it, mate. So well done, mate. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Wish you all the success you get, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, what's doing it now? Let's have a look at my CPU.
He's put the hours in, he's put the work in, he deserves every laudit he gets.
Exactly. Oh, I think I know what might be going on.
What?
Well, there was an update for Streamlabs. I bet they've changed something and now it's doing 5 times as much work. Yes. Oh, well, never mind. It'll survive. I'm only at, what temperature is my CPU at? What percentage am I at?
1 million degrees.
1 billion degrees! I'm at, it's a lot. I mean, I'm normally around about 40-50% CPU, but I'm at 75% at the minute, so something's different somewhere.
Yeah, so you got some task running in the background.
Yeah, Streamlabs has changed something somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. As long as the stream doesn't fall over. I'm still full screen, I do apologise.
What's Task Manager telling you? Is it giving you a list of background processes?
That that's what I've been looking at. It's just Streamlabs and Edge and the camera settings. But I think obviously Streamlabs is doing something different because it's just updated this morning, so I don't know. So I'm up to date with chat now. So while I'm sitting here waiting for this to dry, people in chat ask lots of questions. You may as well take advantage of me sitting here being able to read chat in the absence of Cy Reynolds. Chat Dolly extraordinaire. Chat Squig extraordinaire.
No. It's bad, isn't it? It's down to us two idiots today.
We're just rubbish. So
we apologise unreservedly to every single one of you for our inane ineptitude with chat.
Yep. So feel free to ask, this international award-winning artist any question you want.
Oh dear, let the mocularity begin.
Oh, I fully embrace anybody taking the mickey out of me.
Oh,
because every time I do something wrong now or make a mistake, it's just going to make it all the worse.
Absolutely, because we'll go, call yourself an award-winning artist.
Yeah, especially like when I superglue something to my face and be like, award-winning, really? Really? Award-winning, is it?
Oh yeah, because that's when it'll all come crashing down.
Yeah. It's like a rod for me own back.
Nice.
But I think, George has won quite a few awards already, so...
Yeah.
So he's well established in there.
Good for you, at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, we was chatting about this the other day, wasn't it, about awards and that, where we won't enter competitions ourselves because we both see it as a whole different level, don't we?
And like I said before, although it sounds stupid, I don't think I'm good enough, even though I got an award. Hey, I got an award. But, I don't think I'm good enough for that.
Did you get an award, Foxx?
I don't know, I might have done. I'm sure I heard something somewhere on the grapevine somewhere.
When did this happen, mate?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody told me something recently.
Damn, you kept that quiet.
I forgot I've got this back panel. I've got to grubby up my back panel. I keep forgetting I've got this at the back of the engine.
Are there people in the chat that would do competition work, would enter competitions?
Or have entered competitions maybe, or won things. Are there any other award winners in chat tonight?
Well, yeah, because you're now a member of that elite category, aren't you?
Ooh.
You know, I'm not. I'm a lowly modeler. You know,
you have to put something in to show them, wouldn't you?
Oh, good God, no.
Hey George, if ever you buy anything off Colin,
no,
make sure you put it into a show without his permission.
Git.
It ends well, trust me.
You are an utter turd.
I was joking earlier. Oh yeah, I was joking earlier on saying the real reason that Simon's not come in tonight is because I'm a threat now. Because he's won 2 awards, but I've only won 1.
Yeah.
But I'm halfway to his level.
I know.
So
bless him.
He's got stiff. He might be like, oh, I need. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I told him last night. He was very supportive.
He's good. He is. So
he was typing through clenched teeth. Very well done.
Yeah, we're really pleased for you there, Foxx. Great.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah, really impressed.
He's there going, crap. You mean you can win awards?
Did he do that lean back yawn? Golden Demon winner.
Yeah, he's there going, I put 1,000 hours into a backpack and I get an award. You put 10 minutes into a thing and you get, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from this. Colin, I will do... Oh, George says, I have a couple. Colin, I will do the same for you.
Oh, bless you.
Paul Di Tommaso says, George says, when are you going to paint your next Gundam? And Paul Di Tommaso says, when pigs fly, George. Well, the next one will be the Kshatriya for me.
Yes, I dug mine out during the week, my Kshatriya.
Yeah.
It was markings made, ready for storage to ensue.
No, I don't know how I'll paint my Kshatriya. Whether I do another Borderlands style one, I don't know. I'm not going to do any modding to it though, because the thing with Kshatriya is it needs panel lines and stuff adding, but I don't have those talents. So I know you do. I don't.
So
mine will be vanilla.
It's when you sit there. Yeah, I have to get the saw out for that. I've got to get the saw out for this. And, yeah, there's a bit of deft cuttage to be done, but I think it'll work.
I do have a saw. I just don't have the balls to use. No.
Yeah.
I only use it to cut resin pieces off their key blocks.
Yeah, it can be a bit. If you overthink it, you won't do it.
Oh, I that's the one thing I do.
And yeah, dare I say it, I'm nervous about it, but not being constrained by Gundam or a way of doing it.
Yeah.
I've kind of got that, dare I say it, open ability to just have at it, because I'm doing it as a steampunk thing anyway, so...
I don't think it's down to anything like that. I think it's more just down to simply you just have that childlike adventurousness that I've long lost. You're like, oh, I want to do this. Where I go, I want to do this, but if I mess it up and then that doesn't work and then that doesn't work, and how am I going to fix that? And if this doesn't work... I've become an adult and it's rubbish.
I totally get that. Dave once said to me, don't it worry. I said, well, it's plastic. You can always glue it back together.
Yes.
He said, but... yeah.
Yeah. George says, if you sell that big beast, I am entering it. I don't know if it means yours or mine or both. A Kshatriya, I think he means. And Paul Di Tommaso says, I know Foxx has several Gundam kits that people, including me, sent him to do. Yes, I do have loads. I've got loads in a box that were sent to me to give away, which one day I will get back to doing that. They're all in the loft. All the ones that were sent to me as giveaway prizes, they're all in the loft. I'm never going to touch them, because they were meant to be giveaway prizes, and that's what they'll be one day, when I can afford to do giveaways again. Yeah,
we just had stupid postal increases that went a bit mad, didn't we? And
all the money I was making every month was going on posting stuff out, so I was like, it's not really going to work. So they're not getting touched because they're not meant for me to make. But I do have a few. I've got the Kshatriya, which I bought myself. I've got a no grade 160 scale Freedom Gundam.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's before the Lightning Gundam came out, which was perfect grade size, but not perfect grade quality. It's before that came out, so it's a Freedom Gundam, but it's 1/60th. It's like perfect grade size.
Oh, nice.
I've got the Sinanju, which was sent me by... I can't remember the chap's name. Demir, I think it was. I've got the Zaku, but I'm probably never going to finish that. The perfect grade, to be perfectly honest. I haven't got the heart to go back and do that, really.
Yeah.
I've got loads of other master grades and bits and bobs to do. I've got me Giara Doga, not Giara Doga, Giara Doga. I want to do that one. That's master grade. I really wish to do a master grade Giara Zulu though. Oh, I love the Giara Zulu. But then I do a high grade.
I mean, it's what I first came across, knowing you as, was Gundam.
It's just, I got burnt out.
You burnt out on it. That's why I was saying to you the other day, I'm surprised you haven't burnt out on Warhammer.
Well, the thing is with Warhammer, I can go in and I can slap weathering all over it.
Yeah.
When I'm doing a Gundam, I can't. I have to think, well, I can't use this, and I can't use enamels, and I can't use that, I can't do this. So then I have to think, well, I can glue it all together, but I still can't do enamel washes, and I can't do it. So it's like...
Constrains you a bit too much, then.
Yeah, which is where I kind of got away with the Borderlands look, because I didn't need to do that much weathering. It was all just paint and then an airbrush of dust.
That style. That looked so nice. It really did.
Well, it's the only way I could get away with not doing loads of washes and streaking and stuff. So if I do, when I go back to them, I might stick with that kind of stuff. It just takes a lot of work. It does take a lot of work. It's good fun though. But the problem with the Kshatriya for that is there's lots of empty flat space.
Yeah.
And that's where you run into the problem.
Bill Cropper says, thanks Colin for persevering with the Amazon links last week. Bought a wet palette and some dry brush. Yeah, it's fine now, mate. It was
That's what I've done.
Updates to the toolbar, mate.
Yes, we sorted it in the end, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I still haven't
the original way that we used to do it has been changed. Basically, they've moved the entire process over to the toolbar now.
Yes, I'm just going to do a quick bit of hair drying because I'm dying of old age waiting for this to dry. I was all, oh, excuse me, hello. Lasagna carbonara with bacon and a little bit of chicken risotto. Oh, nice. Right, I'll turn my microphone off for a sec.
Yeah, not a problem, mate. Yeah, that's no problem, Bill, mate. Glad it helped you out, buddy. Like I say, the links are up on the website now. I think I'll put a few up, bits and pieces up for you. So, yeah, they're all on there, mate. Not a problem at all. What big beast was you on about, George? We was not sure what one you was on about, mate. Unless he's on about the Insane Blade. Yeah. That one is the one that's intimidating me the most. Painting.
What's that one?
I was saying to George, what big beast was he on about? Was he on about Insane Blade? Because, yeah, that is one of those paint jobs that is slightly intimidating.
Ever so slightly. Oh, I'd love to paint that. I'd have to set a few months aside. Brush is too small. So this is the tricky bit with flat surface, horizontal surfaces now.
Yeah.
You can't really do loads of streaking and things, so it's more just blending and stuff. It's a bit more tricky.
Are you saying Kshatriya? Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, Kshatriyas are fun.
I mean, he did show me a picture of some of the other Gunpla in the competition. They were all really small.
Oh right, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I kind of started with a good angle there then, didn't I? Because the Sazabi's kind of enormous. Go big or go home.
Yeah, he's saying, yeah, she is big.
I'm kind of looking forward to that no-grade Freedom Gundam I've got. It's huge. Of course, it's 160 scale, but it's no grades. It's got like about 6 parts.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like perfect grade size, but like it's below high grade. It's below HD quality. It's dead simple. Doesn't look fantastic. It's a bit weird proportions, but... Right, so what I'm doing now is just trying to blend these a bit. And it's always quite tricky on flat surfaces. Because like when you're doing streaking, you just streak. When you're doing flat surfaces, you've got to try and soften edges and stuff, and it's really quite tricky. Quite tricky to make sure you just don't end up with blobs of paint. It's a bit like a gunk wash in a way, I suppose.
Yeah.
But with enamels. Because there's no gravity acting on this panel, as in, you know, it's not like rainwater's going to run down the side of it and take dirt with it. That's why you've not got any streaks, but it will collect around the edges, and so you're trying to get this sort of shadow in the edges, but it does kind of make it a bit more tricky. Although it can be faster to do these surfaces because you can just fettle them with a cotton bud like I'm doing. What are you doing, dude?
Nothing wrong with a good bit of fettling, mate.
Yeah. What are you doing at the minute?
I am just doing a little bit of steel on the edge of some of my chips.
Ooh. Chips.
Just to put a little bit of contrast between the brown and yellows.
Ooh.
I just realised a couple of panel lines in there.
Contrast is always a good idea.
Absolutely, otherwise it will look too samey, won't it?
That's the thing that a lot of people forget is, more so with tabletop miniature type models, but with any model really, because you're making a miniature of something, whatever it is. You've got to fake things a little bit, and it's all about with especially with tabletop stuff. It's all about contrast. You've got to kind of exaggerate the contrast a bit for tabletop because you're going to view it from like 3 or 4 feet away.
Yeah.
And that's why you have the kind of base coat, dark wash, highlights, exaggerated kind of thing. Because if you've got a man in a red jacket, you just paint the jacket red, then on the tabletop already it's just going to look flat and boring. But if you exaggerate the shadows and exaggerate the highlights from a distance, it looks like a jacket. But you can apply that to any models, not just tabletop miniatures.
Yeah, it just changes it out a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's why it's important when you're making a model, however you do it, whatever products you use, you want to introduce shadows in one way or another, whether you do pre-shading or washes or whatever, and you want to introduce highlights to then contrast against that. You don't want to just paint something red and then put, let's say, a wash over it and leave it at that, because you've just darkened everything. You've not brought the highlights back. So you want to exaggerate it, but it's a tricky thing to do, because if you're doing a realistic vehicle and you go all tabletop on its ass, it'll look really weird. If it's a real world vehicle, it'll be like, that doesn't really work. Whereas on a miniature you can do that, so it's kind of a tricky balance. I'm not saying I can got anywhere near good enough to do it, but
it's difficult when you're looking at it close up as well, isn't it? Because you see it close up and you're like, oh my god, it's biblical ass. But when you then sit a couple of feet away from it, you go, actually, no, that is what I'm looking for.
Well, that's what I struggle with, is because I'm not saying I've got the hang of it at all. I struggle with contrast quite a lot, because it's precisely for what you say. I'm looking at it close up all the time, and what looks like ridiculously extreme contrast, when viewed from a tabletop distance, is actually fine. It's just, okay, there you go. But it's very hard, and it's difficult to get it exactly right. And especially when you're doing oils or enamels like this, you put the wash on there, you fettle with it, you think it looks far too dark, and you try and knock it back a bit. But if you were just to leave it to dry and cure fully, it would actually lighten up. Because oils and enamels always look darker when they're fresh, and they fade away a bit as they dry. So it's trying to keep that in the back of your mind as well. It's really quite tricky. I'm not saying I'm good at it at all. It's just, but I do see so many builds where it's painted a colour and there's maybe a bit of a wash on it, or even just a pin wash, but that's it. Even if it's not a weathered build, I'm talking about weathering. I'm talking about or it's just, here's a dude with a red coat and they've just painted the coat red and that's it. It's like, well,
they've made a 3-dimensional piece look 2-dimensional.
Yeah,
it's like
you've just put a base coat on. That's like, you need to take it further than that. You need to make it alive, make things pop. But that's why I like weathering, because I can do that. I struggle with the contrast, but if I kind of blend the contrast effects into the weathering.
Yeah.
So my shading just doubles up as grime.
this is why the Warhammer side of things appeals to me, because it's a new technique, isn't it? You know, I'm not an expert in weathering. You know, I've only done a little tiny bit. You know, so it's all new for me, and I find it quite a stimulating learning exercise.
Stimulating. Ooh,
stimularity.
Look at the stimularity. But that's the thing, and that's, you know, I've said it to people. People have asked me, you know, I don't really get them anymore, and I try and avoid it now. But people say, you know, how can I make this build better? Can I have some feedback? And I'm like, I hate that, because especially when somebody sends you a picture of something really badly painted, and you're like, I don't want to give you feedback.
Yeah.
But you have to, and you have to be nice about it. So the thing I most often say is, you've painted it really nicely. It's really neat. It just needs some contrast, because it's just a flat colour. That's the one thing I say most often. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I struggle with it. I either go too far. There's been times when I've finished a model, I've done the final varnish coat, and I think, crap, it looks flat. But it's too late. I can't go and add more. Well, I could, but by that point I'm bored of it, and I want to just give up the will to live with it.
Yeah, I tend to operate on the less is more mantra, and then I'll put a piece normally on the turntable. I've got a little battery turntable.
Balls, that goes me thinner.
I'll put that on the shelf that the piece is going to sit on, and then I just sit and look at it.
Yep.
And I look at how the light is hitting it and how things are showing or how detail isn't showing, and then I'll go in and then I'll exaggerate that forward facing side that the light's hitting, and that'll be my light source.
Yeah.
And I'll edge light, or edge, I wouldn't say edge highlight, but you know what I mean, try to get it looking as if the light's hitting it, even though the light isn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like,
because that's where the light will be.
Yeah, because you're kind of words. You and I are kind of similar, and that we don't really. I don't really like follow the sort of traditional Games Workshop style obvious edge highlights. No. Because that's not how the real world works. But I understand the need to have edge highlights, because you want to make that detail pop. So you're kind of, I think, similar to me in that you kind of straddle the gap between no edge highlights and some edge highlights. You kind of do it a bit.
Yeah, I look at, say for instance, if it was going to be facing me that side, then I would go, well, the light would be hitting it at an angle, so therefore there would be a tiny edge there, a tiny little bit here, maybe a bit there, and I will pick out where I think the light would reflect off of angular surfaces.
Yeah, you're doing like edge highlighting, but realistically, Games Workshop is every edge as a highlight, whereas you're saying, no, actually, I just want to do it on the edges that would be highlighted.
Yeah, that would have a light hit it, and that's the reflection it would give, and that's all I try to do, because, you know, light isn't going to hit the back of an object. No. So therefore, you know.
So yeah, you're kind of taking that technique, but you're changing it up to make it realistic.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not a big fan of edge highlighting, but at all, because I'm lazy and it's a lot of work. Whereas I will say, for example, do a very delicate, say, dry brush, or on rivets, just pick out the top of it, just to fake it a little bit. But I wouldn't do every edge or anything like that. No. If I was going to do it, if I wasn't so lazy, I was going to do proper edge highlighting, I'd do it like you do it. I'd do it light dependent rather than just on every surface.
You know, on that say thing there, it would have it along the top edge. It's not going to have it along the bottom edge, but it'll have it down that piece, and down the front edge, and maybe on the edge, the front leading edge of these pyramid rivets. And that's it.
So you remember we were talking about when we were saying about, you know, me teaching you how I do things, so you can then take that technique and roll with it. That's exactly what you've done. You looked at Games Workshop's way of doing it and said, well, okay, I like that, but only if I do it realistically.
Yeah, but it's like that plate on his arse there, where
arse plate.
It joins there. You know, the light is going to hit that leading edge, and only one pie segment of the cone.
You said pie.
So that's where it's got the highlight, just literally on that tiny little section, and that leading edge, and the front face of the two rivets at the front, and that's it. Because the rest of it, where it's underneath, it's going to be in shadow.
And that's
so you're not going to have light hit it.
And that's what we've been talking about. You've found your own way of doing it based on somebody else's technique. So well done.
Absolutely, you know, and that's all. You know, for me, I like to have a bit of guidance so that I know, is my train of thought going in the right direction? You know, once I know, or I can see how you're doing it, it's like, yeah, I get his thinking, I get the direction he means. Now I can just go in and have my own little shades and ways of doing things, and you start to develop your own technique.
You learn how to do a technique, and then you decide how to apply that technique to your style.
Yeah.
I was going to say something.
You won an award, didn't you? Did you not tell anyone?
I wasn't going to say that. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, this is what you do to Si. You know it's going to backfire. It's going to happen
but the thing is, he can't do it, because if he does it, I'll just say that he's won 2, and then he's shot himself in the foot, you see.
Yeah, so
I was going to say
get
something.
Away with it now.
Nah, you can get away with it. Both of us now. Damn it.
I know.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. It was awesome, or whatever it was. Obviously,
edge highlighting, light, contrast.
I can't remember. But yeah, a lot of the times, most of the advice I tend to give out when people ask me for feedback tends to be, you need more contrast. But it's one of those things. The subject can demand different levels of contrast, and it's tricky to know that.
I mean, we muck about mercilessly, you know. I'll say, oh, you're patronising me, and that. You're not, and I know you're not. That's just us doing our thing and bantering. But, you know, when I've said to you, oh, you know, what direction, you know, you're like, don't overthink it. You know, yeah, I get the question you've asked, but you're bogging yourself down in... that's the Citadel way of doing things. Yeah. Ignore that and just pick up bits and pieces, and then you'll develop your own technique. And it's like, okay, and that's what I've done. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you've done. They do it this way. Well, I'll use that technique, but I'll apply it in my own. You've basically, that's what I was going to say. You've basically created your own internal logic as to how things work in your world, in your how light works and colour works, and that's exactly what I encourage everybody to do: is learn techniques from other modelers. People say, you know, is it wrong to copy other modelers? No, because that's how you learn. We've said that before. If you want to learn how to do a chipping technique, watch somebody doing it, copy it, and then if you want to, you can just do that, or you can tweak it to your own devices, and that's what you've done. You've figured out the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Somebody said, you know, you've done here's how you build a car. Here's how you design a car. Brilliant. I know that. Now I'm going to go and design my own car that may look nothing like that, but it'll be a car, and I know how it'll work because I know how to make it work. I'll just make it
absolutely.
That's a really bad sort of simile, but yeah.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah, learn the techniques, but apply them however you feel works for you. And you can trust what I say, because I'm an award-winning artist. So.
Absolutely, you know, and it's like, you know, I can't agree more. You know, go and watch people like Duncan, watch Foxx's stuff. You know, go on the boom up, look up George Gabriel, look up Kenneth, type it in the search on the group, and look at their work. Look at what they're doing. Go through the history and look at where they were and where they are now. Type them a message, you know, George, how did you learn this, or how did you do that, or how did, and you can learn so much from these folks.
And that is the point of groups like the Boom Hut and Colin's, you know, workshop group, is that the whole point of that is it's not just a place where you can say, look what I've done, I'm brilliant. No, it's so people can say, that's amazing, how did you do it? Please tell me, because I want to be able to do that. And that's the whole point.
You are talking to a bloke who apologises for posting in his own group. I'm terribly sorry to disturb you, but I thought I'd post this in my group.
Obviously, I'm referring to other people, not you. But that's the whole point of our groups is... Yeah. Yes, it's a place to show off your goods, but if you pardon the expression, but also it's a place for people to ask how you did that thing that you're showing off. Yeah. That's the whole point. Because not everybody has a YouTube channel where they can show how they do stuff.
Yeah.
Not everybody has one, or wants one, or is able to have one. So that's the beauty of DAS. You know, you can show you what they've done, and you can say, how did you do that? And they can say, I did this, this, and this.
And that's the thing about the Boom Up and my group, you know, the community in there, the people the people will sit and they will give out the advice. They will sit and talk with people. They will sit there and go, well, yeah, well, you know, try this, try that. You know, put a picture up of what you're stuck with, and I'll help you out. And it's that's the thing. It's nice because we're all learning. You know, if I didn't think that I could come in and learn something each day, I wouldn't do the hobby.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% why I do what I do. The whole channel and everything else is to teach people, so the group is there for people to learn.
You know, I sat here 6-7 weeks ago and I looked at you and said, how did you do that chipping, mate? Now, you know, I've been doing this years, but I still sat and I was like, how did you do that? Because it's over-exaggerated, but it works. Yeah, and it looked such an easy technique, and I was watching him do it, and I'm like, hold up a minute, that's a far better way he's doing that than what I...
and that's the thing.
And that was it.
But that's the thing, that's the trick of it, is that it's teaching people that quite often, more often than not, the thing they don't know how to do is actually really easy to do.
Yeah.
But it's just knowing how to do it. It's the technique. And the thing like with the chipping is it looks, like you say, it looks really over the top and contrasty. But I know what's coming afterwards, and I know that'll tone it down. It's knowing things like that.
Absolutely, it's going to tone it down.
Yeah, and that's what people can learn, you see.
The other week, when I was beginning to hate on the paint job, and you went, you're at that stage on the paint job that we get to where we hate it. Persevere, because as you start adding the next layers on, it's going to dull that down. And it did, and I was like, yeah, I get it now.
When I did that Wasbomb Dackerjet, I did the chipping. And I was, bearing in mind I was filming this, and I film as I go along, I don't film it and then... So I did the chipping and thought, Jesus Christ, it looks like a complete bloody abortion. And I was like, crap, I made it look terrible, it looks horrible, the chipping is so blatant, it's obvious. Oh, it's horrible. Then I was like, tell you what, I said, brain, what can I do? My brain went, I don't know, put a red filter on it. There you go, done. I was like, oh, actually, and now it's got weathered. Ah, there you go.
Yeah, and it just knocked it back again, didn't it?
Yeah. But that's another thing to remember for people is, you know, is don't forget, of course, as well, that all of us, myself included, we're learning new stuff all the time. I'm trying out new technique. I'm trying out new stuff on this build. The way I've done the tracks is new to me because I've never seen it done before until I saw someone do it. And I thought, oh, I'll try that. So, you know, I'm always learning new stuff. I'm not afraid to, if I see someone's technique, to take that technique and try it. Yeah. I'll always give
a lot of the younger folks that are coming into the hobby, you know, one of the first things they'll say is, they've come across people of our age in the hobby that won't learn new things or patronise them slightly because they're young, whereas I have the mentality of they might know a technique because we've been blinkered and been doing it that way for years.
Yeah.
They might have a way of doing it that is far better because they're using more modern techniques, more modern products.
Absolutely.
And that's what I found when I got back into the hobby. Was I was looking at guys in their 30s using all this pigment stuff, and I'm like, whoa,
where did that come from?
What is this witchcraft? Because I'm from the generation where weathering was a bit of silver dry brushing on the edges, and that was it.
Yeah, a black wash and a black wash.
Yeah, and a black wash, and it was done because that was what we was doing in the 80s. Yeah. And I took 20 years away from the hobby. Come back and you see realistic weathering, you're like, to do that.
But that's the thing. I mean, I'm you know, I can say I'll always happily admit that yes, I'm learning new things all the time. But I will happily take someone else, like I said, take someone else's technique, copy it, and then either just copy it and leave it at that and use it, or adapt it some way. But I'm happy to admit that, and that's why I always say where I've learned things like this way of doing the tracks. I saw on Novak's Night Shift channel.
Yes.
I'd never seen it before, and I'm like, grey paint, brown washes, I love that. And it may well be that I just use that technique. Yeah. He didn't invent it, somebody invented it, but then it's like, there's no shame in, you know, and I'll always happily say where I found a technique from.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point, we all learn from each other.
Andy McLeish says, I'm currently playing with Chitu box supports and such. They would like to know what Colin's Mars 2 Pro settings are. What I'll do, Andy, is I'll take a screenshot of it all and I'll message it over to you, mate. It's not a problem, mate.
Candygram says, I got a second and third place award for models in a local IPMS competition, but there were only a couple of other entries in each category. The next contest will be in September. Cool, congratulations.
Oh, get in there, well done.
So you're a double award winner. You've got more awards than me. And I'm an internationally renowned award winner.
I haven't won any awards and I'm feeling love.
That's only because you haven't entered yet.
Yeah, but I won't.
I didn't enter either. You might do. If you ever sell anything to George, you'll enter a competition.
Yeah, I should make a personal note now. Under no circumstances ever.
Nah. George, like, hey, you're going to sell that? Yeah. Oh, no, not to you, George.
Yeah, it's a bit like when you said, Cole, go and video yourself touching Ellen's appliances. Yeah, okay, I'll go and do that.
Yeah, okay, what could go wrong? Andy McLeish says, plays a kazoo in your ear. Andy McLeish has also returned home with made bolognese, although I don't know how that means he was then commenting whilst he wasn't at home. Oh, sorry, he says, I've returned with homemade bolognese. I'll read the words correctly. It might make more sense. I forgot to take a photograph of that before I did it.
He's good, isn't he? I'll just have a look, Andy, and see where I can find the settings, mate, and I'll bat them over to you, buddy.
Bobbin says, roast pork and stuffing tonight, to be followed by sticky toffee pudding. Oh, yes, bench and belly, folks. What's on your bench? What you're working on right now? And what's in your belly? What are you going to have for your dinner, or what have you had for your dinner? Now, what I need to do is take a photo giraffe of this before I streak it, because I meant to do that for here, and I forgot, because I just started streaking it. So, I shall do that first. I need something to put under that. Let's put that under there. That'll do. No, that's too big. I need something underneath. I don't really know what to put under there. I'll put a thing under there. I don't know. So I shall take a photo giraffe of that before. And then, Mr. Rossi, what you want? Cocoa castles in the sun. God, there's a flashback. Nobody knows what that music is or what the reference is.
I was going to say, I'm really getting quite worried now.
You don't know what the reference is, do you? Nobody does.
No, I've got no idea.
Mr. Rossi, what you want? Cocoa castles in the sun. Nobody remember Mr. Rossi? God. Right, let's take a picture now. Picture Geffarten taken. There we go, and then I'll make sure to remember to take a picture afterwards. I said afterwards. Why did I say afterwards? Did George's Sazabi arrive intact, and how do you possibly package a model for international shipping? It says Candygram. I think it arrived intact, less a slightly dinged V-fin. The way I pack stuff is I get a plastic storage box, like an Easy Box company. You know the box where it's got the lid that opens like that, or you've got a lid with the two handles that clip up, and like a storage box. You get the hard plastic storage boxes that you see through. I use those, and I disassemble the model as much as I can, and I put the parts into little zippy lock bags, and then I just cover everything in bubble wrap, and I wrap. The whole box is jammed full of bubble wrap, and I carefully make sure that things aren't all squished together. I make sure that the plastic box is far too big, so that everything is kind of floating in a block of bubble wrap. So it can't move anywhere. It can't go. If it gets juddered around, it can't move up or down. It's not going to rattle about. And that's the trick I've used. Because you fill enough bubble wrap in there that when you put the lid on, it just gently presses it all into place and stops everything moving. And then, of course, when I put that in a box, and that goes in a double-walled cardboard box, so that even if the box gets damaged, you've got this solid plastic case. When I, for example, sell this, if I can fit it in one, I'll probably put it in a Citadel skirmish box.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because it's got the foam in it, and it's also a rock-solid plastic box. If it fits, I don't know. When I sent George the 3 Armigers, because he bought my 3 Armiger Knights, they were disassembled as best I could, and they were all kind of jammed into a skirmish case, just about. All kind of spread around a bit, so... Yeah, it's just bubble wrap. As long as the bits inside the box can't move, then you're usually alright. And this is why I don't tend to do things with lots of whip aerials or antennas, and if I do, I'll make sure you can take them off. Like, that's why I don't know how... If you made a sailing ship and you want to send it to someone, you'd have to get a crate made. Because you can't jam that in a box. It's the moment it turns over.
Yeah.
I've got the little Matalan Ridge Runner thing that I made for George. Yeah. And that's got an aerial with some string on it, or some easy line. I don't know how I'm going to pack that because I don't want it to snap, so...
Oh, nice one.
So that's the thing. Ships and rigging and stuff must be a nightmare because how you pack that. But yeah, anything. That's why I tend to stick to stuff that's like solid and blocky, so you can just wrap it in bubble wrap and put bubble wrap. You make little sausages out of bubble wrap and thread them around and just jam everything in place, basically.
Absolutely.
So nothing can move.
I've PM'd you them settings, Andy.
Colin, I have the screenshots of your Cheeto box settings that you sent me. If it's okay, I'll put them in the 24/7 Hangout chat for Andy.
Andy's not in there.
There you go then.
Yeah, he's not in the 24/7, mate. I've PM'd you, Andy.
There you go.
Cheers, Jeff, by the way, mate.
Andy McLeish says, did you just sing Mr. Rossi theme song, Fox? Holy 1980 to 1990s crazy TV anime Batman. Yes. And then he says, Samurai Pizza Cats. I don't remember Samurai Pizza Cats.
Fox is so happy now, though, that you knew that.
I thought Andy might know what Mr. Rossi was. I actually watched some recently. It was a Spanish thing, and it was just bizarre. Marcus Brune says, Belly, 3 cheese ravioli in a tomato and basil sauce. Bench,
nice.
A10, got my transfers, working on the invasion stripes and paint correction. Awesome.
Good man.
I think maybe easier to send it as an email now. How, says Andy McLeish. And he says, all right to you, he PM'd him. Cool.
Yeah, PM'd him.
Yeah, so bench and belly, folks. What are you having for your belly and what's on your bench? Yeah, what are you...
Yeah, if you use them settings as a base setting, Andy.
Base.
Because I'm in quite a warm, humid environment
Humid.
here. And they work for me, so yeah, use them as a base, mate. And if you do need to make any tweaks, just, yeah, have at it, mate.
Damn it, I've not got enough blue tack. Balls.
Well, that should get you out of an hole. I mean, I get really nice prints on them settings, mate.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what Mad Max was done on.
Like you say, it does depend on like your humidity and the warmth in your room and everything else, doesn't it? So
yeah,
it's a good start.
Climate.
But that'll be a good starting point for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Right, can I trust this if I stick it down my blue tack? Can I trust it not to fall off? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We shall see. 6 o'clock. Samurai Pizza. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
We've only going for an hour. Samurai Pizza Cat, says Andy McLeish. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna guess it's along the same veins as Biker Mice from Mars. Things like that. Who remembers Biker Mice from Mars? Good God.
No.
No.
I worry about you.
Problem
I know
is
none of these programs.
You don't remember Biker Mice from Mars? Wow.
No.
It's in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles era of cartoons.
Never watched it. Never watched the Turtles either.
Heroes in your armpit, or whatever it was.
Okay, I now really, really do feel that I need to get you that phone number, that helpline.
Have you been injured? That one, not that one.
Yeah.
Do you remember that man with the scary paint-on moustache? Have you been injured?
Yeah.
A stupid black moustache.
Yeah, how many people were traumatised by that person?
I know. He's like some big scary bloke painted on black moustache.
That's almost as bad as the Alvin Stardust Green Cross Code advert.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, kids, are you out of your tiny minds? It's like, yeah.
No.
Awkward.
You know what makes me laugh at the minute is, with all the current world events.
Yes.
And there's that chap in the House of Lords, the member of the House of Lords, who's a Russian gentleman. Oh, and there goes my internet. I've always been shut down by the FSB. Hang on. 1 second, folks. I was silenced by the FSB, but I came back.
And he's back.
Yes. Yeah, there's that bloke in the House of Lords who's like a Russian, but he got made a lord.
Yeah.
And he's got the stupidest beard.
Oh, really? Is it one of those?
It looks like it's painted on.
Oh, really?
It looks really... It's like... if there's anybody in the world that should not have a beard, my friend...
Oh, really?
I hate to say it. It's just... Yeah. It's like one of those things where if you've got dark hair, you can have a really thin beard, like a really thin.
Oh,
like,
is it a bit Tony Stark stroke Jeremy Beadle beard, is it? Or...
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of real fat sides, and it's like it just looks like you've painted it on. Just don't have a beard, or make it like a real Beppe beard with thin lines around the side.
Yeah.
And I look at it and think, God, that's the worst beard in the world. You shouldn't be in the House of Lords just for having that beard.
Yeah, yeah, I got to trim mine. I got the 50p treatment earlier.
Ooh, I cut my hair last week.
I know.
And trim my beard.
Very preened and profesh you looked as well.
It's dead easy. Get your trimmers. Number 2, everything. There you go. Done. That's my grooming regime. Once every 6 months.
Yeah, that's your quarterly or 6-monthly biannual haircut.
Yeah, do it a bit more frequently in the summer because it just gets hot and sticky.
Oh yeah.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, summer sticky beard. Once you've had one of them. Yeah.
Well, it's when you wake up in the middle of the night, and of course, you know, when it's hot and sweaty and you sweat into your pillow is bad enough. But when you sweat into your pillow, and of course, your beard is an entire sponge.
Yeah.
And you wake up with like moist face, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's near 8.
Yeah. Wet beard stuck to the side. Oh no. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. Only happens to you once.
Yes, I'm not even on camera. I'm such a spoon. It's because I've moved the camera. I have to move the camera again now. There we go. I'm probably not in focus. Apologies.
Joseph's asking, has anyone used the display files made of glass? They look interesting, and the Gundam builders apparently love them.
Glass file?
I've not seen them, mate, but they sound an interesting concept.
I'm not quite sure how that would work. Would glass be...
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Would glass be tough enough to file plastic? I mean, obviously it is because it works, but...
Well, if it's impregnated and it's of high enough thing, then yeah, I would have thought so.
You said impregnated.
I know.
Do you mean like...
I am a man of a certain age.
Do you mean like somebody's put their Beppis in it?
Yeah.
Beepis. Beppis.
Oh, dear.
Somebody's probed it.
Probus.
Probed.
Pelvatron.
Pob.
Probed.
Pob. Do you remember Pob?
No.
On Channel 4 in the early days.
No.
It was a little puppet.
I've missed a lot of telly, and
It was a little puppet, and all it did was spit.
Oh, really?
And all it ever said was Pob. And its name was Pob.
Oh.
It was like a little wooden puppet, and it had a stripy jumper and it spat. Had an open mouth that just did spitting.
Puppet Master wasn't Pob Carol G's, was it? I'll get me coat.
You know the button to sign out, don't you?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Is anyone out there in Chatland? Has anyone taken advantage of the Forge World win a deathcore competition?
Do you know, I very nearly was on there earlier, Forge World.
Yeah.
I know. It was... I had this sudden urge to go and look at squigs.
The urge to splurge. Well, if anyone doesn't know and was thinking about going to Forge World anyway and spending upwards of £100, or your local currency equivalent, if any of you are in that situation, they are giving away an entire deathcore army. I think if you place your order before the 27th of March and it's £100 or more,
yeah,
you're entered and you're on the mailing list. You have to be in the Forge World mailing list. Then you can win an entire deathcore army. And it's like 12 packs. It's like 120 dudes. It's a squadron of 10 horsey dudes. You've got some artillery and all of the bits and bobs. So it's full. It's like 1,500 quid's worth of stuff. And they do these giveaways. But if anybody was in the mood for spending some money at Forge World, then now will be a good time to take advantage.
Sounds rude not to.
Yeah. You know, if you want to go on there and buy a load of squigs and stuff, then you know, hey. But yeah, I looked at that and was like, I actually placed an order anyway and then saw the thing afterwards and was like, oh, I better go and join the mailing list.
Yeah.
Because I had an account, obviously, but I wasn't on the mailing list. So it's not in every country though. I think they're not doing the US, sadly, and not doing Canada, and there's a couple of other countries and it's not available. A Republic of Ireland is not available. The one thing I've not figured out is when you do a lot of these like competitions at Games Workshop.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have like the registered address that the competition is registered to if you want to write off and get the rules and things like that. Yeah. They always have like an official, in the UK you have to have an official address where you can write to get rules and stuff, or a list of winners. For some reason it's always in Australia.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
Yeah, it's like if you want to, you know, for a list of winners after the fact or to write to get the rules and stuff, please write to blah blah blah, Australia. Games Workshop's Australian office. It's like, really? What? It's very strange.
I've just got to nip out for a sec, mate.
Okie dokie. So I shall have a quick look at chat. I'm just putting the this is the grime layer on the sides of this turret here. You can see what I'm doing, hopefully, if I'm on camera. So again, we'll get this on here and we'll let it dry. The trick with these kind of washes, this kind of effect I'm doing, seems to be get it on there and leave it just to start the drying a little bit. It doesn't need to be like fully cured, which will take about a day anyway. It's a case of having it just slightly cured. And that's where the beauty of it comes in. So I've got the side bits done. I'm not doing underneath yet, we'll do that later. So I need to let that dry for a little bit now. I've not done the cannons yet, we'll do that shortly. I like to do it in bits. You don't want to do it all in one go, because the risk is to get the streaking effect, if you leave it too long, then it just becomes too hard to streak, and when you get some thinners on it and you try the streaking effect, you just end up wiping it all off. So it's a kind of balance between slightly cured and heavily cured. I'll do some more little splodges here though, just for extra streak. We'll do them in a bit actually. Take that off. What we'll do is we'll try and streak it from the top there, but we can always go back and add more streaks later. I'll put some heavy stuff on there, so I'll have a look at chat in a second for you. Right, so let's put that to one side, give it 5 or 10 minutes just to cure slightly. Let's have a look at the chatularity. Cool and Colin, I'm playing with Resin 2. I have the plant-based one, but I want to try the water one. Oh, choices, says Andy. I know nothing about 3D printing. Let's ride and rock, says Andy McLeish. That's about the biker mice from Mars. And Paul DiTomaso says, no, biker mice from Mars was good. Samurai pizza cats sucked. I don't remember Samurai Pizza Cats, so maybe I didn't watch it. It does sound like a complete rip-off of Turtles with the pizza. But then again, it's also probably late 80s, early 90s. It was all pizza in those days. Andy McLeish says, hey, I loved SPC. It makes me laugh. Haha. Andy McLeish says, Foxx mentioned the Russians. I'm not saying it was the Russians, but it was the Russians. It's always the Russians. Was H pinging 5p coins at you again? Colin asks Andy. She's always... No, she's not there at the minute. But she probably was anyway. Cyclically. Of course, Canada isn't included. We are always left out. I think... I know it was North America. It might not have been Canada. I can't remember. If you go in, there's a T's and C's on the website. And I would suspect it's purely down to the cost of shipping 1,500 quid worth of resin stuff. It's probably quite ridiculous, and they're probably cutting their losses, I guess. Or maybe there's just been shipping issues and they're trying to say, well, these places we can't guarantee they'll get it. I don't know. But Canada may or may not have been included. Have a look and see. Games Workshop Oz mailing office. G'day, Nidland. I'll say that again. Fest1of9 says, I are doing a Gundam model kit and I'm going to try to do panel lining. Do I just wipe off with a Q-tip or have I got to use a thinner or turpentine-like stuff? If you're doing a Gundam, the thing to know about Gundams and Gunpla, Bandai plastic in general, is it's exceptionally vulnerable to thinners. Any kind of thinners, solvents, spirit-based, mineral-based, anything like that. Oil paint thinners, enamel thinners, acrylic thinners, you risk damaging the plastic. So you have to be very, very careful. If you're doing panel lining with enamels or oils, what you can do is essentially what I'm doing now, very similar. You basically get your panel line, get your whatever your oil paint or your enamel paint, whichever one you're using, and you put it into the panel line, and then you give it 5 or 10 minutes just to start to dry a little bit, assuming it's oils or enamels, and then you can go in with a very fine brush or, like you say, a Q-tip, and you can just rub off. Say I was doing this little panel line here, I'd put the paint in there in the gap, and I might get a splodge of it here, I might get a splodge there, I'd be like, oh. So I'd let it dry for 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 15-20 minutes. I'd move the camera back, and then I'd go in with a Q-tip. Try with a dry Q-tip first, and I'd just wipe it away. Because if it's oil or enamel, it's only had 5 or 10, 15 minutes to cure, you can probably just wipe it off, no problem. If it's a bit more stubborn and it's not coming off, then that's when, yes, you can damp the Q-tip in the thinner, but don't have it dripping wet. Ignore the fact there's paint in there. You get it off, you get it in the thinner, and then you just get most of it off on, say, a piece of tissue or whatever, bit of material, and then you'd wipe it across the surface very gently. You only want it very, very slightly damp, just to break up the paint and get rid of it. What you don't want to do is get a load of thinner on a brush and start slopping it around, because if that panel line was like 2 different parts and you got thinner in there, it could eat away at the plastic. The other thing you can do, if you're just doing panel lining and you don't want it to be a weathered gunpla, so you don't want lots of weathering and chipping, if it's going to be nice and clean but with panel lines, gloss varnish it first. Because if you gloss varnish it first, then when you put the oil or enamel paint on an edge or in a recess, it will scoot along for you. It'll capillary action will pull it along and it'll do all the work for you. And then when it comes to removing it, give it 10 or 15, 20 minutes to dry. With a dry cotton bud, a dry Q-tip, it'll be a lot easier just to go and clean up the mess. So yep, you can try it with the dry cotton bud. Oils and enamels are great for that. You've seen me here when I've put this on, I've been fettling at this with the oil paints here, and you'll see me when I'm doing these bits. I'll use a brush and I'll fettle at it with the cotton bud. If it's enamels and stuff, they come off really easily. I would recommend, if you're using oil paints, with enamels you can obviously buy panel line washes and like streaking grimes like these from Ammo and AK do them. You just take them straight from give them a damn good shake and take them straight as they come out of the bottle. I've got some there in a little glass thing. That's my streaking grime. You don't need to thin them. If you're doing oil paints, you want to thin them a little bit, but don't have them too thin. And when you are applying them, be very, very careful. Don't slap it everywhere, because again, if it's a wash or a panel line wash or one of these streaking grimes or even paint that you've just thinned yourself, it's thinned paint. It's pre-thinned. These are pre-thinned enamel paints. So if you start slapping that everywhere, again, you're risking getting the thinners in that paint into the cracks and gaps in the plastic, and that risks the plastic. So just, if you're panel lining, just restrict the paint to the panel lines and where you want it to go. Glossing it means it feeds itself around all the gaps and edges. Don't start slapping it everywhere. Be very careful with it. That's the thing with Bandai plastic. It's great stuff, but you just have to be careful with thinners and solvents and things like that. You can't slap them around. That's why you can't do like this kind. I couldn't do this kind of wash on a gunpla, because it would just destroy it. Varnish first. We'll be using the Tamiya. Okay, so you're using the. Let's have a look. If mine is acrylic, do I still? Okay, one thing I would say is don't do panel lining with acrylic paints. If you put acrylic paint on a model, you can't get it off. It's not going to come off. That's the whole point of using enamels or oils. Enamels take 24 to 48 hours to fully cure. So if you paint it on there and give it 10 or 15 minutes, you can just wipe off the excess, no problem. Even more over a gloss varnish. If you use acrylic paints, you put the paint on there, it's on there. It's never coming off. So don't, unless you can do it really neatly and you're not going to make any splodges, or you can paint over the splodges later on, I don't do it with acrylics, because you can't get them off again. The only way to get them off at that point is to get alcohol or thinners and then wipe it off, and then again you're using thinners and alcohol. So yeah, don't use acrylics, use enamels or oils. And to make life easier, just get yourself some of the either AK Interactive or Ammo of MIG streaking grimes or panel line washes. They come pre-thin and pre-mixed in cool colours, and that way you can get it on there and wipe it straight off. That's why all this weathering I'm doing now, I'm using enamels, because I can wipe it all off and fettle with it. I will do some stuff with the acrylics, like I use Null Oil and other washes and things and shades, but only where I know I don't need to clean up afterwards. That's going to fall off, isn't it? If I need to do cleanup and I want something to be neat, I'm going to use acrylics and enamels.
I must send you the magnet one.
welcome back. Yes, well, I haven't got a magnet in the bottom of that, but I could have done. Would have been handy, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll print you one of them out.
Lovely. That's top heavy now. I've done it wrong. It's going to tipple full. Oh well. It's only so I can paint it. Oh, I'm such a spoon. So yeah, don't do your panel line and stuff in acrylics. If you're using an acrylic wash, you have to be happy that it's going to tint everything and colour everything. And once it's on there, it's never going to come off. Gloss means one touch and it goes pew around the lines. Yeah, if you've got a little panel gap there, for example, between those two bits there. Imagine this is microscopic. You've got like the two raised surfaces. You put some enamel or oil paint in there and a gloss varnish, it'll go zip down the gap.
Yeah.
The capillary action. Welcome back, buddy.
Extra thin. That's right, mate.
Have you had a good wander and a bit of a nom?
Yeah, I had to have a wander around because I had purple foot.
Oh dear. Well, I've reset the 2-hour timer.
Yeah.
Are you good to carry on?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. I'm just stood up at the moment, mate.
Okay, well, if you need to stop, we can stop. Not a problem.
That's all right, mate. I just had to make the call because, yeah.
Yeah. No, good lad.
See, I can be sensible. Don't tell everyone, though.
No, don't tell H anyway.
No, don't tell H. Mind you, I am in her good books because I was diligent.
Yeah, no, I don't use that word with you. I don't know. Andy McLeish gets some internet points for quoting "I am Weasel." You don't need pants for a victory dance because Baboon is better than Weasel. I am Weasel. The series, which of course was made massively better because the main character was voiced by Michael Dorn. I mean, just. And the favourite line from I Am Weasel: "If I'm elected president, I promise." What was it? "If I'm elected president, I promise 70% more moisture than ever before, or 70% more wetness than ever before." Yeah, 90s cartoons. Ah la la. Mine is a.
He's good.
Yeah. Oh, in a minute. Okay, so he says I will be using the Tamiya. So I assume using Tamiya panel liners. They're enamels, so you're fine with them. They'll be fine. Have you tried the clay-based washes like the Flory Models ones? Just wondering how they compare, says Bill Cropper. Yeah, Flory Models and Ultimate Modelling Products do water-based, clay-based washes, which is literally water and like clay-based pigments. They are really good. You can wipe them off with water. They are really good, actually. I tried them for panel lining. They're a bit too transparent for panel lining, but they are good for weathering effects. I tried the UMP ones. Basically, you use like a normal panel line wash, but you can just get a damp with water, cotton bud, and wipe it off. For things like dirt and dust and mud effects, they are really good. But for panel lining, they're not very opaque. I tried it once and they're a bit transparent, so it didn't really work for panel lining for me. But yeah, they can be wiped off with water. Colin the Squig Boss has returned, says Andy McLeish.
I have returned.
Thanks so much for the info. That also helps me understand, like the putty where they're talking about, but some being too hot for the Gundam plastic. Yeah, basically Bandai don't what's called bake their plastics because they need the joints to be flexible and have lots of articulation and stuff. They can't go for traditional model kit plastic because it's polystyrene, because it's too brittle. It would just shatter. All the stresses that all their joints need the plastic to have and survive wouldn't work with standard traditional plastic model kit polystyrene. It would just crack eventually. So they don't bake it, apparently, from so I've heard. So it's got some flexibility, and therefore you get more. Your joints don't just fall apart after a month. But it does mean then they're very susceptible, which is one of the things that burnt me out on Gunpla because you have to fart about a lot. Capillary, says Andy McLeish. Caterpillar. Did you get a quick snack of some sort?
Yeah, I didn't need a snack. I just needed to stand.
Good lad. Are you returning to normal? Ish?
Yeah, it's... Without going into too much detail, yeah, there are concerns over me right foot and leg, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it, put it that way.
No.
You know. But, yeah, it's... yeah, it could be better, but it isn't, if that makes sense.
It's more just of a pain in the arse, if you pardon that, if you know what I mean, than anything else right now.
Yeah, because obviously medications and that, everything's up in the air at the moment, but...
Yeah.
It's one of those, but the main concern, I've got to have all the what's the word, needle tests and that done on me foot and lower leg.
Yeah.
To see what's going on, and then obviously the circulation stuff, and yeah, so it'll all come good.
It's just a faff, isn't it, really, at this stage?
Yeah, it's like I said, I build model kits with my hands, not my feet. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But without being too flippant, you know, I say if I've got a nursemaid a foot that isn't going to be viable in a decade, why should I spend a decade nursemaiding it? Just, you know, do what you need to do so that I can get on.
Yeah.
I know that sounds blasé, but...
Well, no. And on the plus side, of course, on the plus side, you could get an epic set of blades.
Yeah, I spent 10 years nursemaiding a tumour, for crying out loud. I want some time off.
Yeah.
And
it's like a duff tooth. Just take the fucker out. Oh, I did swear.
Yeah.
Well, I do apologise to the viewers. That just came out.
what'll be, will be. You
Yeah.
know, and I don't mean to sound dismissive. It's just I'm a realist. You know me very well, and you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
If they say you can't do this, I won't do it. If they say this is going to happen, I just say, look. At the end of the day, if you need to make the decision, let's make the decision so we can all move forward. And
well, the thing that I think people don't realise is that when you live with something for long enough, you get to that pragmatic point where you're like, okay, that needs to happen, fine, because you've lived with it for long enough. You're not. It's not quite as emotional as it is if you would.
No, that's right. You've done all you can. They've done all they can, and you just go, do you know something? Oh, we're flogging a dead horse here. Let's just be done and move forward. And
like I say, if you've got a sore tooth, just take it out. You might not want them to, but at the end of the day, do you want a sore tooth or do you want not a sore tooth? It's the same kind of thing.
That's all I said to the diabetic nurse the other day when I did a video call with her. I said, look, you know, no one wants to give their patient that news. I said, all I'll say to you, I said, is you'll learn the more you deal with me, just say as is.
Yep.
I said, if you don't think I should be doing something, just tell me. I'll understand. But also, if you think something isn't viable and you're just trying to be nice because you don't want to give me bad news, I'd rather you be honest.
Yep.
I said, because I want to enjoy my time.
Yeah.
Not sort of constantly be inundated with
what
dressing changes, medical stuff all day long, every day for something that is going to be thrown in the bin in a decade. Well, let's just get rid of it now and be done. So she was quite taken aback, but she was like, no, fine, I get it.
Yeah, it's like you've got an option of like have something you have to fart about with or just get rid of it and not have to deal with that. Yeah. You know, the first thing that goes through my mind, I'd be like, I want digitigrade legs.
I mean, it's like anything. You just get fed up with hospital visits and
the faff.
You know, dressing changes and nursemaiding this and put this on, try this, try that. And you know deep down, none of it's really going to work.
No.
So why bother? Let's just bump. So
if it's something you can fix, then fix it. If it's something you can't fix, just get rid of it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that took her aback a little bit, but...
Well, it's something it's something that no one can understand unless they go through it, I suppose, but...
Absolutely. You know, it does sound flippant when you talk about them taking a foot off, but at the end of the day...
Yeah, but you're the one going through it, so you can be as flippant as you want.
Yeah, if I'm going to have to nursemaid the bloody thing for a decade and your quality of life is suffering because of it, well, get a shot of it.
Yep.
Sod that for a game of soldiers, throw it in the bin.
Exactly. Get a good price for it on eBay.
I wouldn't mind. I wish it was the left one, because the right one, I spent a fortune having the leg tattooed.
That's the only thing. You'd have to get rid of your tats that are on it. It's like, not that one. Oh, you bugger.
I know. So, yeah. But no, all joking aside, it is one of them. I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be like, I want digitigrade legs with massive, dirty, great paws on the end.
I just want the big Oscar Pistorius spring-loaded blades so that I can do pogos 15 foot in the air and bound my way all down your driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because I'd go to the best punk rock disco club I could imagine and I'd be pogoing all night on my new bionic legs.
Especially if it was a club that already had a sprung floor as well, sprung dance floor.
Yeah. But no, it is one of them. But...
No, I'd be like, digitigrade legs, dirty great big paws, and also somebody make me a tail, and there you go, bang. It's not a fursuit. I need it.
Absolutely, mate. Right. What was I doing? That's what I was doing. Do I like that white or do I do that? No.
Which way are you going?
Yeah, I don't like the white. I don't like the white on that bit.
Racist,
there.
that is. It's racist.
Don't know what that was.
I don't know. You kind of turned into a pervert there for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to do that in my stealth yellow. Yeah.
Stealth yellow.
That works. There you go.
Oh, just lick the brush. Oh, that was a bad move.
Decision made. Decisions made.
I just did that one thing that you should never do when you're using enamels.
Oh, you didn't?
I licked the brush.
Could have been worse.
Go on.
It could have been Agrax Earthshake,
Oh,
couldn't it?
yeah, that's true. I can't believe I just licked my... So one thing, if you're a brush licker, you have to be really, really careful when you're doing enamels and oils and not actually lick the damn brush.
You like
burpage. Thing is, it's like a biological imperative for me as a brush licker to get the point back on. So it's like I can't not do it.
Yeah, I think stealth stripes is going to work better.
Yeah.
Stealth stripes, the stealth checkers even.
Stealth. Well, I just said yes, and I said yes, and then thought, wait, stealth stripes? What?
Yeah, stripes. What's he on about?
I hope people can see what I'm doing if it's on camera. I'm just teasing the enamel paint. That's dried a little bit. I'm teasing it and fettling it now. Sometimes with the dry brush, sometimes with it ever so slightly moist with thinners, but only a tiny amount, just to try and drag.
Was that?
Ooh, super chat.
Mildly moist.
Andy McLeish says, Mad Dot Grotznick as your boinking, as your bionics ready. In fact, you should read that because you've got the voice.
Mad Dot Grotznick as your bionics ready.
There you go. Thank you very much, Andy.
There you go. Foxx is happy now. So
yeah, I'm always happy.
Feeling the love.
I'm feeling the love.
And of course, he is an award-winning artiste, you know.
Yeah, so I deserve even more super chats. Because you know, I'm award-winning, internationally renowned award-winning. So my advice is so valuable that you must give me many super chats.
Absolutely, Foxx Powers, international award-winning man of mystery.
Yes, ask me any question you want in chat, but make sure you give me the name you logged into Patreon on, so I can make sure you're a patron. Only joking. Only joking.
Oh, you're such...
Where are we up to?
You're so bad.
Candygram says, wishing you the best of luck. Ray Aquilina's in. Hey, Ray. Big Malta hugs from Ray.
Hello, Ray. How you doing, buddy?
Fest 1 of 9 says, I am so excited. Andy, my cousin, bought me one about 7 months ago. A Lupus Rex 1144th HG. I don't know whether to cuss him or hug him when I look over the stack of models in my backlog. HGs are great. HGs are great fun because they're just really good fun, basically. They're not too complicated that you have to sweat the details, and they're simple enough that you can have fun building it.
That's the key, making it fun.
Anna McLeish says, is this where we contact Mad Dog Grotznick and get jobs some bionic bits? Okay, that's before what he said before. And because he says about that and the stash, Andy McLeish says, how about both? And Fest says, if I practice, I might. Me and multitasking are not friends. Welcome to the club, says Andy. None of us can multitask. Blokes can't.
We're men.
Yeah, men can't do the multitasking.
Yeah, we're useless at that sort of thing, mate.
And Andy says, serious conversation, but if I can make someone smile, then, well, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you had to have that foot off, you definitely need some kind of orky prosthetic.
Yeah, it's one. Oh, you know I would orcify it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because don't forget, I have a pair of carbon fibre leg braces that could do with orcifying.
Oh, yeah. Just so people know, I've put a load of paint up here, the enamel streaking. Now I'm going to tease it with this brush and streak it down to make streaking effects. This is how I do streaking.
Oh, you're
There's the tiniest amount of paint on the brush. Tiniest amount of thinner. It's basically just got a whisper of thinner on it, almost none whatsoever. And I'm using no pressure at all. Yeah, the funny thing is, right, if it wasn't for me, like 3 years ago, if you'd had, say, a foot or a leg done, you would have just put like flames and stuff on it and all that kind of stuff. But now, because of my influence, you'd orc it.
Oh, yeah, it'd have checkers and,
Yeah.
It's bad, isn't it? You see, this is what I mean. You've corrupted me.
Yep. I've corrupted something.
In a nice way.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, it took him a long, long time of perseverance and keeping at me.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
3 years of nagging, and he's bought things from Forge World.
I know.
What was your first Warhammer? Was that the Blade Runner, the Beyblade that I sent you? Or was it the
Custom Booster Blaster? Was the first one I bought, but the first one I actually built was the Insane Blade.
Was that? No, I mean, did you do anything before I sent you the Beyblade, or was that the first thing you actually did?
No, it was the first thing I did.
Cool. So I made that.
Yeah, that was
all my fault.
First Warhammer build was the Insane Blade, and yeah, oh god, it's just mad. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like,
you're having thoughts, aren't you?
I am. I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
Because an international award-winning artist told you to do it, so you know it's going to be good.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what it needs, Cole. What's that, Fox? It needs a rope bridge.
It needs ... Choose one or many of the above.
Rope bridge done. It could also do with a crow's nest and a sail. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also this, that and the other. It needs a drawbridge.
It's not often that you get intimidated. I would say intimidated, but you know what I mean? You have a build that you've done that sits and looks at you and almost mocks you with its... Yeah.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that even I'd be the same. You sit there and you look at it and you go, oh, I haven't got the... I've not got the nerve to... I don't know. I think there's so much to it. I don't know if it's the fear that you won't do it justice more than the fear of where the hell do I even begin?
That's the thing.
Because with most models, you can figure out a paint order. Right, I'll do this, then I need to do that, and I need to... But with that thing, it's like, I don't even know I don't even know how to start planning it.
That's the dilemma. It's like, yeah, I'm going to have to make a start somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a turret. Something simple, just to get me into actually picking up a paintbrush and applying it to a part of the Beyblade.
Yeah.
And then I think once I get going, I'll be fine. But at the moment, it's one of those, I still don't think I'm there yet.
Well, that's the thing for me. It'd be like, I wouldn't even know where to start planning, never mind where to actually do the... I'd be like, I'd spend 6 months trying to figure out how to plan what I'm going to do to paint it.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
I could start this bit, but then if I do that bit, I need to paint that bit. But if I don't paint that bit, what? And then once you've spent 6 months painting that, there's still like 32 dudes you got to paint.
I know. And that's the thing, it's like, really?
It's not a single project. You've given yourself a year's worth of painting in that thing. It's great.
Oh, it is mad.
Think of it that way. It's like instead of buying 10 kits, you've just made an Insane Blade.
Yeah, I mean, every time I look at it, it's like, how on earth did I get so far off the beaten track with it? But...
And then you remember how I got you to press the buttons on the washing machine. And you went, oh yeah, now I know how that happened.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it was all bribery at the end of the day, because if I hadn't have done it, he would have told my missus that I played with her appliances while she was out.
I would have told your missus that you played with the buttons.
Yeah, and it would have been, yeah.
Right, that's that bit done. Streaking on the side, quite subtle. I'll see if people can see what I've done. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom.
Pardon me.
So hopefully you can see there. After painting the paint on the top and then jabbing a paintbrush in it, painting the paint on the top, letting it dry for sort of 5 or 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's just with an almost dry brush, just tweezing it and tweaking it and teasing it down and just dragging it, not trying to wipe it away. Some places I try and wipe it away, some places you try and tweak it, and this is why oils and enamels are perfect for this, because they take so long to dry that you can fiddle. And if it goes wrong, you just get some thinner on it and wipe it away. Go on.
Helps having the matte varnish on there as well, doesn't it?
It's a satin on this one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, any layer of varnish or satin, or otherwise.
Well, it's not. Put it this way, it's not gloss.
Yeah, it's not gloss.
Exactly.
If you did, I missed that bit. If you did it with a gloss varnish, you could. Well, you could do it with a gloss varnish, but it wouldn't look the same.
No, it would try and react like a pin wash, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Capillary reaction and.
Yeah, if you do it with a matte varnish, it just sponges out and goes, so you get a really grubby look. You wouldn't get nice straight streaks. If you do it with the gloss varnish, it would just, it wouldn't. You wouldn't get enough of it collecting in the surface. But a satin's nice in the middle. Satin or matte is your best for streaking and stuff. And that's just taken me what, 20 minutes? And just think, it's taken me 20 minutes just to do that little bit of the side of the turret. And you've got approximately 10,000 times that on your insane blade.
I know.
Got a new name in chat. CK Hobby Shop says, "What's up, guys? Welcome, CK Hobby Shop."
Hello, CK. How you doing?
Welcome,
mate?
welcome, my friend. Very nice work. Looks great. He says, "Thank you very much, CK." I say he. It could be he or she.
Absolutely. It's one of them, innit? I can see. There's going to be a few folks that don't know what we're on about Insane Blade, so Insane Blade is going to make an appearance.
Oh, I should put you full screen. And when I say full screen, I mean like several full screens.
Yeah.
Basically, I sent Colin a Bane blade, but Colin can't just make something out of the kit. He has to use every single part of the kit and then other bits as well.
Yeah, this is something that was decreed, wasn't it?
Yep.
I had to use everything in the box that came with the Bane blade.
Yep, and then anything else you could find lying around. And
there wasn't options, was there?
And he had to embrace the orc aesthetic of just stuff jammed on, stuck on.
So we ended up with that.
Yep. You've got a crow's nest, you've got a sail, you've got a rope bridge at the back, you've got nonsense. There's all the guns. And that's just a rough base coat on there, isn't it? It's just you're not even. That's just pre-shading.
It's just a rough base coat. Yeah.
It's not even started on the painting on that.
It's just gotten worse and worse.
I love the rope bridges. My favourite bit on that is actually the rope bridge.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
I love the idea of a rope bridge.
And of course, I've got all the dudes to go on it as well.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously, electrics they're going to go in to move the turrets, and
I could spend months painting that.
But it's like the sponsons, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he had the extra sponson sprue twice.
Yeah, it's like, why is there a gap there? We could put another turret there. Yeah, all right. And then if it had a space, a gun. But, you've got cranes and all sorts going on.
I love the fact you've got the Baneblade cannon and the Devastator cannon, and you've also got the Storm Gatling.
That's at the front there, yeah. The only reason that's not joined at the moment is it makes painting it so much easier.
Yeah. So that's just your base coat and pre-shading there, isn't it, really?
Good God, yeah. And I'll probably end up...
That's a good 6 months worth of paint to go on that.
Yeah.
Lordy. I think you should paint the entire thing in black and white checkers all over. No.
It's insane, isn't it? That's the whole idea.
And if anybody doesn't know the story behind that scratty piece of sail, I think you should.
That's raggy.
I think you should explain to the viewers what raggy is.
Raggy is I've had this tea towel since I got back into the hobby at the bench, and as you can see, it is the world's scuzziest tea towel, and that's had nothing put on it. It went crusty because
it's got oil paint, enamel paint on it, acrylic paint.
Yeah, that's got everything, bits of varnish, bits of everything, and that's affectionately raggy. So that's what raggy was, and
And now it's a kind of unwritten rule that every build he does, he has to somewhere get a little bit of raggy on it.
A little bit of raggy. So half of it I've got in pieces next to me in a cup. Yeah. And each build I do has to have a piece of raggy on it somewhere.
Yeah, raggy kind of became known and loved as its own little character almost.
I had to cut little strips off, and whenever I sent stickers out, I had people saying, "Can I have a bit of raggy as well?"
Can you include some raggy in that for me?
And it's like, really? People want a bit of raggy? There you go. See, and that all sits on there, and then that magnetises as well. And, so, it's grown into this weird thing,
The Insane Blade.
The Insane Blade.
And when he'd finished it, I says to him, I says, right, I'm gonna send you another Baneblade kit, and I want you to make me an Insane Blade because I want to paint one.
He wants to paint one.
And I'm like, oh.
So folks, that is everything that comes in a box in a Bane blade, all on one Bane blade.
I think it'd take me like about a week just to paint all the searchlights.
Yeah,
and lenses on it. There's millions of them.
It's just mad. Every time I look at it, I'm like, why have I built this? So there's squigs on there, there's dudes, there's all kinds of weirdness. And it's going to be lit as well.
Unmotorised.
Yeah, these are going to be motorised, so...
Why? For some reason, when I see those three little sponson turrets there, why does it make me think of like some 1940s trio of women sing the boogie woogie something?
Yeah, the Beverly Sisters.
Yeah, or
if
like
I could get them all in synchronisation and have all the turrets.
Don't know why that. I don't know why that just popped into my head.
Yeah. So that, folks, is Insane Blade. Now you know what we mean.
Yeah, and that's about 2% complete if you count the paint job as part of the project. Edward Leonard is in, so let me come off you full screen and we'll do a proper squishy hugs. Edward Leonard, so of course for Edward's benefit.
Happy days.
Squishy. That's the official greeting for our Squish King, Edward.
Absolutely, Lord Edward.
Behold the Insane Blade, says Candy Graham. God, I want to see the look on players' faces if this ever got to plop down onto a Warhammer gaming table.
God, could you imagine it, going into your local games workshop? Yeah, I'm going to bring me stuff in for the game. Yeah, no worries. And you just... Yeah. I
think if you were to play a game with that, that'd be like about 25,000 points. That'd just be like... That'd be your entire army. There's so many weapons on it. You'd be like, are you having any infantry? It's on the tank. What about flyers? It's on the tank.
Yeah, where's your army? That's it.
What about Lord of War? It's on the tank. Do you want HQ? Yeah. It's in the tank.
It's in the tank, isn't it?
Oh, great, I need to go to the store and it's snowing, says Paul. Oh, dear. CK says, that looks awesome.
It's getting there. Like I say, I'm looking forward to painting it, but I'm apprehensive about painting it, and it's one of them... I need to do a few more builds before I even contemplate, because I want to do it justice.
You want to get to a point where you're happy to actually dive in and not be terrified of it.
Yeah, and it's like anything. All of these builds here are just part of the learning curve at the end of the day. Yeah. But Insane Blade is... I made a millstone for my own neck, really, didn't I, by doing that as my first build.
You basically started with a showstopper.
Yeah. But, hey, you know, it's all part of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Edward says, afternoon, Colin, Foxx and chat.
Afternoon, Edward. How you doing, mate?
First one of 9 says it looks like Raggy looks like his underwear on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know what happens on a Monday then to make that happen.
See, the beauty of Raggy is even the little offcuts retain their shape.
Yeah, it's self-moulding.
You know, that is pieces of Raggy.
You could probably line a bulletproof vest with that.
And don't forget, I've got Raggy Mark II because I have the tea towel, I have the towel of shame, which is this towel. And that's just as bad.
We see this T-shirt that's on my cutting mat at the minute was only really meant as a thing to stop getting paint on my cutting mat. Was only meant to cushion the cutting mat so I'm not taking paint off this model while I'm handling it. I think it's turning into a Raggy there because it's getting covered in thinner and paint and everything.
Oh, yeah, you've got to have your own version of Raggy, mate.
Yeah. I will have a look at chat in a minute when this is all applied.
Raggy, was that a subtle hint? Because I won't put any paint on the paintbrush.
You carry on. You carry on. I just want to finish doing this.
How far did you get to, Mush?
Most of it, I think. I got down to...
Andy Super Chat, you got that far, did you?
Yeah, I got down to Fess saying that it looks like his underwear on a Tuesday.
Oh, right.
I think he's asking why you stopped using Raggy was the next comment.
Yeah, Paul said, why did you stop using Raggy? I was sent a pack of new rags, and I do believe, Paul, it was by yourself, mate.
I think possibly also the fact that Raggy just became a solid surface, more of a cutting surface than a rag.
I think it was I was unfurling Raggy, wasn't I? And you was like, what is that noise? And I went, I'm unfolding Raggy. And you're like, what? And I think it was Si was like, what? And I scrunched it up on the bench and it just retained its shape. He went, dude. He said, that is contagious. He said, that should be in a furnace or a nuclear bunker.
You can't really class it as a material anymore.
Yeah.
It's not really a rag anymore.
Absolutely. But yeah, it got that bad that it was no longer... It was making the stuff I was trying to clean more dirtier than what Yeah.
It's evolved from a rag into a surface.
Absolutely. Edward saying hello, Jeff. Nice to see ya. Saying hello to Paul D. Tommaso and Jeff at Candygram for Mongo.
Candygram for Mongo.
Candygram
for Mongo.
Absolutely.
Mongo
mate.
was born in Game of Life.
Mongo happy. Yeah, blazing saddles. Oh, campfire scene. Brilliant. That's
How
like
about some more
Foxx.
beans, Mr. Taggart? I'd say you'd had about enough.
That's like Foxx after a live stream. Oh, before I go, what? Yeah.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? Yeah. Now on the cannons here, I'm really just limiting the streaking grime to sort of raised details. I painted I painted the muzzle brake holes black. I put some black ink in there, but they look really obvious now. So I have to hope that I'll have to do some like dry brushing later with some dark smoky colours to make the sooty effect, to kind of make them all. They look a bit cartoony.
Absolutely.
Because they've got these like black coloured in recesses, so I'll have to sort something out with those.
Yeah.
Later on.
Paul saying, yes, I provided new cloths and Raggy had to be retired. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
Very splendid they are as well.
Raggy was more of a landing platform than anything else.
The thing is Raggy started to get more letters than me channel.
Yeah. When you have to break out a whole new channel just for your cloth, you're like, yeah, I think we've gone too far now.
I knew it had gone mad when Raggy got an agent.
When Raggy started demanding a fee.
Yeah. And it just looked at me and said, do you know who I am? I was like, okay, it's gone too far now.
It's when he won all them awards.
Yeah. Award-winning Raggy.
Yeah. Dip-a-doo-doodle-doo-doo super match game.
Talking of awards, have you ever won an award, Foxx?
Actually, you know what? I think I might have done
that?
at some point. I think I might have done at some point.
Oh, really, mate?
I can't quite remember, but I'm sure there was one award I won at some point. I can't quite be sure.
Yeah, you'd have to check your diary.
Yeah,
wouldn't you,
I'd have to go and look it up and check my notes. I don't know.
Oh, bless you. Don't ever change.
Bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. Now, I don't need to do too much on the other side of the... At least a trumpet, then. What the hell's a turret? Because you're not really going to see it. You're going to see bits of it, but not too much of it, so... I don't need to go too carefully around the seamy underbelly of the turret area. Apart from this bit under here. Seamy underbelly. What you having for your dinner, buddy? Sunday roast?
Yeah, it's Sunday roast. I think it's pork.
Pork.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of pork today. If I remember rightly. Because we had lamb last week.
Lamb?
So bit of lamb. We had a bit of Larry last week, so we got a bit of...
I do like lamb.
Yeah.
I've kind of rediscovered lamb in my old age. When we were kids, Dad used to make, like, you know... You get that... Do you ever that thing where it was like a rack of... It was like a load of ribs, and it was all really thin and crispy, and I never liked that, because it was like, really? It's just... You have to fart about to get any food out of it.
It comes to something, though, when a joint of meat costs more than a joint.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It ain't cheap, mate.
Well, yeah, it's not... It's no different to a packet of cigarettes costing more than a meal.
Yeah. It's just mad, isn't it?
I mean, that's right and good and proper.
Oh, yeah.
Even as an ex-smoker, I fully support that, but, you know.
But did you think you'd ever see 20 quid packet of fags or, 15 quid packet of fags?
No.
Of course you didn't.
Excuse me. Ooh.
Here we are.
And yet here we are. Ha la 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 la. I'll be most upset if Streamlabs have changed something that makes their software less efficient. But I will have to
I can honestly say I don't think I noticed anything. The only thing I saw was there was a tool update. Some widgets have been added to it. And
Yeah,
it's like, well,
it's probably something
most
running.
of the widgets, I don't use anyway.
No, it's probably just something running in the background that wasn't there before. I mean, I updated it, but I haven't rebooted the computer since it updated. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that could be why. Then.
Yeah, I think I updated it after I rebooted because I reboot the PC before I start streaming because I like to get the best connection.
I tend to do that.
La la la. Right, I should be back in 1 minute. I need to go for a great big wee, and also to make Mama Foxx a brew. So I'll let you. I'll let you look after people for a minute. Back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Paul D. Tommaso says, how are the new cloths working for you, Cole? Working fine, mate. I use them for polishing me Gran Torino that I did. That bad boy. So I have a different cloth for each compound that I've got in my polishing system now. And yeah, they're in the drawer right next to me, just here. Dun, 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 dun. Just in there. There they are. So yeah, they come in handy for that. Makes life a lot easier. I mean, could you imagine trying to polish a shiny car with raggy? Yeah, it's really going to work for me, isn't it? The Snatch, says Andy McLeish, was a good film. It was, mate. Paul D. Tommaso says, closest thing to an award I ever got for modelling was the silver award I got in high school for my geography fair project. It was a scale replica of the Hamilton, Ontario even airport. Nice. And he says, Gran Torino, what the Ilman imp wanted to be. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, you knocking my little imp. Look, there it is. Yeah. Absolutely. Richard's in, Richard Thomas, Scale Modelling World, saying good evening. Good evening, Richard. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you again. Adie's in, Smurfworks, saying good evening. Evening, Adie. How you doing, mate? Hope you're all right. Candygram saying nice, Paul, and also hi to Richard. And he says, knocking the imp, me, never. Yeah, priceless piece of automotive history that was, mate. My infamous Ilman imp. When I was an apprentice mechanic, and I painted a Starsky and Hutch stripe on it, and yeah. I can remember going to pick my missus up in it, feeling so proud of myself, and she's like, really? Yeah, or words to that effect. Yeah. Absolutely. Many a road trip was had in that little car. Everyone's saying hello to Richard there. Adi says, have I misread the link? Laugh out loud. No, Fox. Yeah, he is about, mate. He's just making a cup of tea for his mum. So he's just nipped out for a minute and left. He's left me in charge on his channel, mate. What possibly could go wrong? Yeah.
I'm returned.
He's returned. See, he heard me say that. That's
well, I didn't hear anything. I heard you say yeah.
Yeah, no, someone was saying, did they misread the link? No, Fox. And I went, no. He's nipped out to make a cup of tea and he's left me in charge of his channel. Yeah, I know. No, I thought I better go make Mama Foxx a brew because she won't make one for herself because she's rubbish. Had she not making one? No, she had not making one. And she even left one square of a banana sandwich, so... No. I know. You pulled the tomatoes off. Climbing on the settee, did you? No, thankfully not. Pulled the tomatoes off. Take care and see you later. Ta-ra, Paul. Take care, cheers, mate. Bob. We've had a few people come in that I've read out. Aye. What, Richard Thomas and Smurfworks? Yeah, they're in. Smurfworks. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Right, I'm just letting this dry. Don't forget, folks, if you'd like to support this channel, if you're lovely and wonderful and want to help keep pay my bills, keep this channel alive,
You can become a patron or a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/model making guru, and you can become a patron, or you can click the join button underneath any of my videos and become a channel member. You'll get access to free emojis if you're a channel member, access to free content, exclusive content on Patreon, and also you get access to the live 24/7 Zoom Hangout, which is exclusive for patrons and channel members, and the associated Facebook text group. And don't forget, of course, you can support Colin's channel as well, patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, and or click the join button underneath any of his content, and you can support his channel as well. It'd be lovely if you do, because we both do this as a business, so we depend on you guys to pay our bills, and we love you dearly. But there you go. So do consider helping out. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And like I say, that gives you access to the 24/7 because it's a joint venture.
Yep.
That we run. Yep. You get to meet other modelers. You can shoot the breeze, chillax, have a laugh, have a joke, do a bit of building, do what you like. The hangout's yours at the end of the day.
Yep. The hangout is you. He's being brave, says Smurfworks.
He is.
I assume that's about Paul Di Tommaso going to brave the snow.
No, that was about you leaving me in charge.
Oh right, yes. Oh, Frankie's in as well. Hey, Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, leaving you in charge. That's almost as bad as leaving me in charge. Well, the thing is, now I leave myself in charge, and I'm just as bad as you. So I figure it's no worse than leaving me in charge.
Yeah. It's one of those, isn't it?
I might have to get the hairdryer out on this because it's taking a while. If chat doesn't keep bobbing along, I'll have to get the hairdryer out.
Yeah, I mean, when H went out, she went, please don't touch any of my appliances, so don't go breaking stuff.
Almost like she hasn't known you for 30 years.
It's like, really?
Do you really think I'm going to adhere to that, really?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Most people...
I wouldn't touch any of her appliances. Wouldn't dream of doing such a thing.
Most people would be like, would normally say, you don't need to keep reminding me, but you'd be like, do you really think I'm going to adhere to that? No.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to touch stuff.
Of course I won't. First thing I did was touch the washing machine.
Yeah. Bye. Click. Draw. Drives off. Pressing buttons.
Yeah, I'm pressing all the buttons.
Sorry, why are there a load of plates and a dirty pan in the washing machine? Oh, a washing machine. Oh. I thought, get out. I'm going to hairdry this now. I'm bored.
It's the fact that she comes in and she'll look at me and go, now, did you touch anything when I was out? I'm like, no.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Really?
So what you're saying is she's not got amazing psychic powers. She just knows that you can't lie to save your ass.
Exactly.
So the best way to find out is just to ask.
Just ask me, because I'll admit it.
I'm just going to hairdry it, so let me turn my mic off for a second.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll just admit it, because I've got A-level guilt, folks. She'll know. She knows all my tricks and all my shenanigans. So everyone's saying goodnight to Paul there. Frankie goes to Bobby Woods Inc. Good evening, guys. Hello, Frankie. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Hope you're keeping well, mate. We like seeing Frankie.
Hey, Frankie. I don't know why, but whenever I do the hair drying, I feel compelled to beatbox while I'm doing it.
Oh my God.
I can't not beatbox while I'm doing it, make little rhythm noises and stuff. It's quite bizarre. I just can't not do it.
Yeah, right, yeah. So not only are you an award-winning painter...
Well, there is that. Am I? Really? When did that happen?
But you're also an award-winning DJ.
DJ? No, not a DJ.
Yeah.
I'm not a DJ. I don't come from Bolton.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can't do a DJ laugh. Doodle-doo-doo-doodle-doo-doodle-doo.
Yeah.
Fussing and fettling here.
Yeah, he's not just an ordinary guru now, folks.
I mean, even more annoying guru.
He's an award-winning guru, Aid.
I got best in show for my glossy coat, and I went through all the little jumps. I didn't poop on the carpet.
Mightily proud of you.
Best in show for my glossy coat.
And I can just imagine
bright eyes.
How excited you was to tell Mum.
I haven't told her yet.
You joking me?
I forgot.
God, I'm shocked by that.
Well, she won't actually remember what the hell it was anyway, so...
Oh, bless her heart.
But no, I haven't told her yet.
She'll probably sit there and go, so?
She wasn't awake enough by the time we started the stream, so... Dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee. Yes, my glossy coat and my shining eyes. Don't forget, folks, if you are watching this, for the love of dog, we need stuff to talk about while we're busy typing, so please do come and join the live chat if you're not in it already, and if you are in the live chat, please ask us lots of questions, Rich. Ask Colin anything.
Oh, like that, is it?
As always. Yeah, ask us anything, because then it'll give us stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because we're all doing the sticky out tongue painting bit, and it means we don't really talk about much. So, do give us...
We are useless, really.
Stimulators.
I mean, this is where Sai is missed, isn't it? Because we are useless with the chat.
Yeah.
We really are bad, didn't we?
And even if there's nothing in chat to talk about, Sai can insult us about something, and that'll set off a whole conversation.
But, yeah, so apologies, folks, but we really are useless.
Useless.
Yeah.
There probably is a use for us, but when we find out what it is, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we're as much use as handbrake on a canoe.
Yep, chocolate fireguard. Yeah. Tits on a fish.
Yeah.
I just made that one up.
Yeah, tits on fish.
Oh, maybe I didn't make it up, I don't know. I think I just made it up, I don't know.
What colour? Let's have a looky look.
Was that you, or was that the seating device? Bear in mind, if you say it was the seat, we won't believe you.
No, that was me standing up and gravity taking place.
Little bit of popularity. Never apologise for popularity. Only apologise if it's rubbish popularity.
It's like, how come me? Yeah.
It's a dirty, great big Trump. You never apologise. If it's like a then you have to apologise for being rubbish. Yes, I think with dinner tonight we're having exactly the same Italian takeaway that we had last night.
Oh, nice.
Because Mama Fox liked it, and I really liked it. And I like the fact that she only had half of hers, so I got to eat half of her.
Hey, mate, at the end of the day, if she enjoyed it and it's getting sustenance in Mum.
Yeah. Well, it's also that, or I have to make something and I really can't be asked. So, and I really want tagliatelle. There's just days when
you don't enjoy cooking, do you?
I can't stand it. It's boring. I just want to eat. I love eating, but I find cooking boring as balls.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend, an hour fettling around with stuff when all I want to do is put it in my face. Really.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's like I would know, but yeah.
Yeah, you're not allowed in the kitchen. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's ultimate get out, really, isn't it, when you think of it? Just get yourself banned, fellas. Just get the wife to ban you from all her appliances, and it's great.
Yeah. You can't do the washing, you can't do the cooking. Then again, I suppose if you had to cook for yourself, your diet would just be a disaster, wouldn't it? Yeah, because I eat the worst food because I'm lazy.
Yeah, you're. At
least this way you get a reasonably balanced diet, or at least you get what you're supposed to eat,
Yeah, the house would burn down, mate, if I was left to my own devices.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of the quality of the food, though. I think you'd be eating all the stuff you're not supposed to eat if you were left to your own devices. Yeah. At least this way, H can be like, you can't have that because you'll die.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'd be, mate. I'd be straight down to junk food, Yeah. I'd have all of that. Yeah.
What I do is I go to the supermarket, I fill the trolley full of crap, and then I'd be like, you know what? I can't be bothered making all of that. I'll just order it from a takeaway instead. So then I put all the crap back, but at least I know what I wanted to eat. I get stressed out when it's like, if it's something I can put in the oven for 45 minutes, it's great because I can just put it in the oven and bugger off. But when it's something that you can put in the oven, but then come back in 10 minutes and turn over, and then come back in 10 minutes after that and do something, it's like, no, I just want to walk away. I want to put it in the oven and get the walking away music. That's what I want. Yeah,
walk away and let it do its own thing.
Don't be giving me 10 minutes of this and 5 minutes of that. That's not how any of this works. That's far too culinary. It's far too much nonsense requested to be happening there.
Yeah, that's Gordon Ramsay territory, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just nonsense. Absolute char. I never like weathering the barrels because they're just... It's just a tube. There's no...
Yeah, it's not a lot really you can do, is there, other than a sooty tip? Oh, dear.
It's steady now. No, it's not like you've got like edges and things to do streaks off. It's just a cylinder. Das ist ein Tubengefahren. Hey, buddy. Right.
So what's your plans for the week then, mate?
Well, I need to get more of this done.
Yeah.
Try and get as much of this done as possible so I can flog it. And I need to take advantage of the fact while I've got the mojo to do it, that I can do it.
Yeah.
But I do have a big backlog of part works and stuff. And I'm starting to think what I might do. I didn't really want to do live streams of the part works because if anything goes wrong I look like a tit. But... And then Sod's Law says, if I live stream it, something will go wrong. But I think what I might do, in order to get me to the bench and also get people some content and maybe get some more patrons and stuff, what I might do going forward is do... Because I'm filming the part works, because obviously I'm being provided with the part works. What I might start doing is doing live streams of the actual buildy parts, because filming them's a pain when you've got like 5 boxes of them to do.
Yeah.
So do a live stream of that, but make it like a hangout live stream, like a 24/7 hangout live stream. So it's only patrons and members can access it, because then it's something for them, and that gets me into the hangout, which I don't often do. And then when I've done that, I can then just film a part work episode saying here's where we're up to and this is what I've done.
Yeah, like a part work update or build update.
Yeah, because at least I'm fulfilling my end of the bargain and doing some content for the the part work provider.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm not getting stressed out because I'm not filming, so I might start doing that. So if you are a patron or a channel member, stay tuned. It might be a very last minute, I'll be in the hangout tonight kind of thing at some point of a day. It'll be late night jobs, it'll be like midnight type stuff. It won't be during the day more often than not, I suspect, because of just when I'm available to do stuff. And that hopefully I might try and do one of those this week. And try and crack on with this, and then when this is
do you good.
Well, when this is done, what I'm thinking, I need to. Obviously, I'm not carrying on with the E-Models T62 tank build for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's a bit sensitive.
Yeah, not really something I'm carrying on doing. So that's on hold. So what I might do, now that E-Models have started getting paints and stuff in stock, I might crack on filming the Imperial Knight build I was doing for them. Because I built it, I just need to paint it. And I was waiting for them to start getting up stock from Games Workshop again, and they are now. So they might not have all the paints in stock, but at least they will have eventually, so I can crack on with the goodness. So I think that's what I'll try and do this week. Having said that, of course, it all usually goes to pot when I end up not having time during the week because I'm doing
we
stuff
ask
on the
each
Foxx.
other this question every week, don't we? And normally if we're lucky, we manage to get maybe 1 or 2 things done. But
yeah. Now, you know what I was saying earlier on about using the enamel paints and cotton buds, just dry cotton buds?
Yeah.
For whoever it was that asked, Fess. I've got the enamel paint here on the bottom of the turret. Yeah. It's on a satin varnish, which is semi-gloss. Dry cotton bud.
Yeah.
And I'm just fettling it now. I could use thinner, like I was before, but I want this to look like oily stains where the turret moves around.
Yeah.
So I'm just dry cotton bud, and I'm just softening it and blending it. So most of it goes away, but you get this shadow now around that bit of the turret. You can't really see because the holder's in the way, but you get this dirty ring shadow around then, and because it's only been 5 or 10 minutes, or 10 or 15 minutes, it can just smooth it and blend it away. It's not wiping it all off. It's just blending it away, fading it in. Same here, because I can't do any streaking because these are horizontal surfaces. There's nothing for me to streak. So for these, it's just blending and smudging it. Think of it in Photoshop terms like a smudge tool.
Yeah.
I've taken a blob of enamel paint and I'm just softening it so it becomes a shadow, a shade. And this way I can have a bit of shadow in there. And it just takes 2 seconds. And there you go. And I might soften it a bit with a damp brush, ever so slightly damp, just because the bits where I can't get the cotton bud in. And that's just fettling and teasing. Because I don't want any like sudden sharp edges.
No.
But I've got to be careful I don't get like tide marks. That's the other challenge, you see. Tide marks with the brush. If I spill my thinner one more time.
Yeah, you're having a bit of a mare with that.
Well, I've got nothing that's big enough to hold these things in place. So I keep knocking it like,
What's that?
It's a tea light. You know, you get a little tea light candle and it comes in a little glass thing.
Oh, do you want me to do you an holder for it?
Yeah, go on. I could do with a couple, maybe. Tell you what, if you could do what? I'll tell you what. You could design something. You might, if you've got any of these, by the way, if you get yourself some tea lights, you know, the little tiny candles.
Yeah.
The little glass things they come in. These are brilliant for little mixing pots. And tea lights is like what, £5 for a bag of 100 of them. When I'm doing enamel paints, I put it in one of these, but I put it at an angle so it doesn't dry out and go all powdery. So what I have is a little tea light glass thing on a blue tack thing at an angle. So if you've got like a wash, you've got like a little bit of wash there.
Yeah.
But for thinners, I just have it flat.
Yeah, I just have me mixing pots and.
Yeah. But for having paint in it, you want it at an angle like that, really, 45-degree kind of thing. Because that thing with enamels, if you're using like a mixing palette or something like that, they just dry out, and so you have to keep them at an angle to keep them flowing.
He's good, isn't he?
Yes. And I'll show you something amusing in a minute. It's not really amusing, but I find it.
Andy McLeish's 3D printing question. Colin, what resin do you use and have had success with the Mars 2 Pro? Do you want me to show you the resin I use?
Show him your bits.
I hear you say.
Show him your bits.
Just let me clean me brush a sec, mate, and I'll get up and get me bottle of resin for
While
you.
you're doing that, I will amuse everybody by showing that when I've been holding this, I've been using this flat bit here as an anchor point because I don't want to break anything. So I've been holding it like that, and you'll notice, as an example, I've now weathered the whole turret, but look at this bit, it's all clean. So if you see that disc in the middle is a slightly lighter shade than the rest of it because I've rubbed all the enamel paint off there with my thumb.
Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Good, isn't it? That's all done now. That's all fully grimed. I'm not finished yet because I've got more enamel streaking to do, but I think that'll do for the turret for now.
That's why you're an award-winning painter.
Yeah, exactly.
I use Elegoo.
Oh, let me put it full screen for you.
ABS polymer resin grey.
What does that say? ABS Lieb or like?
Like.
ABS like. Does that mean it's not ABS, but it's ABS like?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's basically got a similar consistency to ABS.
Cool.
I do believe that's on the website, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Has it got a serial number on the side there, just below that he needs?
No, that's just the manufacturing date.
Right. The ABS one, says Andy McLeish.
Yeah, if he gives me a minute, I'll have a look on my website. I'm sure I'm sure it's in my Amazon store, mate.
That being ABS-like, is it the same as ABS that you have to be careful with thinners and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like a Bandai kit.
Yeah.
Frankie says, I'm okay back home from spending 2 days on the North Sea coast. I needed to get out. Ooh.
Oh, good for you, Frankie. Nice to know you're all right, mate,
Yep.
because we hadn't seen you about for a little while, and like anything, if we don't see personalities about, we worry about you.
Yeah. So good to have you back. Candygram says, I recently bought a container of Masters brush soap. I've not gotten any farther than enjoying its scent. How do I use it? I will show you exactly now how to use it, because I need to use it anyway.
Yes, Andy, it's on my website, mate.
Right, let me go and get some water, and I'll show you how to use Masters brush soap. 1 second. I won't turn the microphone off.
There you go. He's
One
good,
sec.
isn't he?
Stand by. Let me plug my earpiece in. Earpiece! Like and subscribe. Where's me? There it is. I'm back. Right. Masters... I'll take off full screen. Masters brush soap. Dead easy. I'll do it with a big brush so you can see, because if I use a little brush it'll be rubbish. Let me find a big brush. Where's me palette brush? There is my palette brush. I don't know. There it is. Yeah. Right, so the way to use Masters brush soap is super, super easy. Masters brush soap.
I know. And it's obligatory that you smell.
Yeah, the first thing you do is open your brush soap and smell it. Oh, smell that, smell it, smell it, smell it. Oh. I'll get the bigger one so you can see better, because that's a smaller one. Smell it, smell it. Yeah, beautiful lemon cheesecake smell. It's brilliant. So, dead easy. Get yourself, you've been painting all day, you've got your brushes all painty. Get yourself some water. You can just use cold water. I like mine to be a little tiny bit warm. Don't have hot water, because if you use hot water, it'll eat away the glue inside the ferrule that holds all the bristles in place. So you don't really want hot water. Ever so slightly warm is fine, or cold is fine, whatever you work, but make sure it's clean water. Dead easy this. All you do, this is the way I do it. There are different ways to do it. Get your brush all wet. Wet your end. And gently start swirling it around on the soap. Now I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm just doing little circles. I'm not pushing it that way. You don't want the bristles to go out. You want to pull them. So I'm just pulling it round in circles. This has gone a bit crispy because it's had shades on it, so this will be good. So pull it round in circles. And you want to work up a nice lather. Or lather. Now this brush has been abandoned for a few days with shade on it, so it's probably a bit crappy.
Oh, I'm sitting and looking at how clean your pot is. I feel so ashamed.
Yeah, I know. Well, I clean mine. Get yourself some goodly bits of water. You want to. It doesn't go super soapy, lathery, but get yourself a good lather going on. I'm not really digging it. I'm not pushing it that way. I'm pulling it as best I can. I'm not twisting it, because twisting the bristles also can sometimes end up with your bristles going a bit spongy. So just keep circling it round, knocking the camera, doing little circle motions like that. Get yourself a nice bit of soapy lather. It can take some effort sometimes to get a good lather going on. And then what I like to do is, with a big load of soapiness, get it in the crook of your palm there and just work it in like that. You want to try and get the soap up into the tip of the ferrule, because you shouldn't really get paint up there, but you might do in the course of painting. So get some more soap on there. It gets easier once your soap's been in use for a while, because it gets more floaty and flumpy. So I'm just spinning it round like that, just working it in. You can do that with the palm like that to squish it. Try and avoid twisting it. Like I say, twisting bristles can make them go out of shape. You can pull it, but try not to twist it, because you want to avoid anything that reshapes the bristles out to be fanned out. So just pull it through, spin it round in circles like that, give it a rinse. Now if it's a brush that you've just been using that day and you look after it, then you won't need to do quite as much. I'm only doing this much because I've left it for a few days. So there we go again. Get it good, bit of lather coming on, bit of that. You're not even on camera, are you, Fox? You spoon. That's why it's good to use that crook of your palm there, because you can just do that. If you want to, you can massage it in. Just kind of get the soap in between the bristles. Just think of it, you're basically just washing your hair. It's effectively, it's like shampooing your hair. You're trying to get all the crap out. Now this was a bit crispy when I started because it had shade on it for about 3 days, so it's now, hopefully, soft as... Doesn't normally take this long, like I say. If you do this every day at the end of painting, or every time you finish painting for the day, you won't need to do quite as much as this. There you go. So then rinse that off. Always pull, don't push. Try not to get a piece of tissue and go like that and pull the hairs out. It looks like I'm doing that, but I'm not. I'm just gently running it across the top of the bristles. I'm not pulling the hairs. Give it a good rinse. I am a brush licker, so I'll get it in my lips and do that to make it into a point. And there you have a clean brush. And this is a really old scruffy brush, so I'm not too fussed. The trick is to basically massage it between the hairs and get it into the ferrule and then rinse it out so it comes out. If you want to guarantee that, if it's a very good brush and you want to guarantee it's pointy next time you get it, before you put the brush away, what you can do is just damp it and just run it over the soap like that, just a little bit, and then put it into a point, and you can store it back in its little plastic tube that way. Always store your brushes like that, tip down. Get your plastic. This hasn't got a plastic tube, but you put the plastic tube on it, you'd store it in, and if you leave it with a little bit of the brush soap on there, it just helps it hold its point until you need it next time. But just remember the next time you use it, rinse it first to get the brush soap off there. And that's it. That's all you do. If you do that religiously at the end of every painting session with the brushes you've used, you don't have to do it every time you change paint colours and stuff. It's just literally just the end of the day when you're not going to do any more painting with that brush. Just give it a quick clean. Again, don't twist, don't pull, just be gentle. Don't push. You want to... Oh, hello. There was a thing. Woo! Wow, Angus, a $50 super chat. Hi, Foxx and Colin, and all 6:30 AM here. Yawn. Angus, thank you massively. That's incredible. Are you still with us, Col?
Yeah.
Are you standing up for a bit?
I am, yeah.
Oh, good lad. Thank you very much, Angus. That's very, very kind of you. I love that. Thank you massively.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go. That's that now done. I'd say this is just my palette brush, so I'm not really fussed about it. And what I like to do when I've finished, unlike some, is just get the tissue and just go like that. Keep it clean. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Now, you can use slightly warm water. Sometimes I do, because it helps sometimes dislodge some of the paint. But just be really careful. You don't want hot water, because that can erode the glue in. In fact, I need to clean these brushes anyway. That can erode the glue in the ferrule, so just be careful with that. Now, with smaller brushes, of course, if you've got a load of brushes to do, start with the big fluffy brushes first, because you can make them... In fact, I'll get that one back because I need to make a bit of lather. You can use them to get a bit of soapy lather going on, like that. Just put that one away. I need some more tissue now. So if you've got a mixture of big brushes and small brushes, obviously with small brushes you've got to be careful. You want to keep the points on these. So with these, do all your big brushes first to get some soapy goodness, and then with these you damp them, get them wet, and just run them around in a little circle like that. Again, you're pulling them, not twisting them. Just pulling them around in a circle, because that's what they do normally anyway when you're painting with them. And then just do it in the crook of your hand again. And again, just pull or run it round in a circle. The reason I like to do it in the crook of my hand when I'm doing the circles is it's just a softer surface than this soap, basically. I want to get the soap on the brush. And then... And there you go. That's simple. And I've only used these... Now, yeah, no, I have used enamels on these, so I'll do a bit more effort on these, because enamels and oils can be a bit harmful to your brushes, so they can dry them out. But it's like, this is why I never use, say, thinners to wash my brushes. Because if you washed your hair in alcohol every day, imagine what your hair would be like.
Absolutely.
You'd be the king of frizz. So, yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine what having hair would look like.
I don't know, is that even something we could... There must be a photograph of you with hair at some point.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, jolly good. Now what I've done there is
my wedding photos where I may have had the remains of a mullet.
That's why you've got a wedding photograph on every single wall then.
That's why we have no photographs on any of our walls. The only photographs in there are a couple of photographs of the kids when they was at school in the lounge.
Yeah, your missus is like, there's no way you're putting those pictures up.
No, absolutely no. The wedding album's in break glass in case of emergency album.
Good. So there you go. I did lick the brush to make a point, and I put it back in the tube, and that can now sit upright in the brush holding device.
Oh, you're good.
I'll do this one. So yeah, clean your brushes. It's dead simple. I mean, this soap will last you for years. If you've got a box full of them, that's like about 10 years supply. And you can do it with if you've got some really old brushes that have been crusted with paint for years, you can do them as well. It will take a while. You'll be at it for a little while, and if it's really crusty, what you can do is get the whole bristle covered in stuff and then just put it to one side to let the soap do its work. I don't know what this soap contains, but it does work on most paint types, and it just breaks them up. But it can.
It's doesn't. What's it say? No, it doesn't give you the ingredients.
There's probably like solvents in here and all kinds of stuff, but try not to push the brush down and splay it out too much. You want to really just pull it. But yeah, do it every day. Every time you finish painting for the day.
Contains 15 to 30% soap, ethylene glycol, and anionic surfactants.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, it can break down most paints. Even old crusty brushes, it can get them quite good clean. You just have to do it for a while and let them sit with the soap on for a while.
Yeah, you got to work at them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you look after your brushes, and this is what we say, even these like Games Workshop brushes that last about a week before they fall apart normally, if you look after them, and just remember at the end of the day, get all the brushes you've used, clean them up. Start with the big fluffy ones first and work your way down to the fine detail brushes. Excuse me. They'll last a lot longer and it'll cost you a lot less. And also, you'll find that they do tend to keep their points better.
Yes.
And then when you're in that habit, then you'll be more inclined to go and spend money on expensive brushes because you know you can look after them. And there you go, that's it, dead simple. There are other brush cleaning stuffs available, but I like the Masters because it smells like lemon cheesecake.
Not only that, I think it just works, doesn't it? It does what it says on the tin.
It does indeed work. Yes, Angus, thank you massively for that. You're very, very kind, my friend. Much, much appreciated. That's paid some bills, thank you. I'm really going to have to hoover my computer out, aren't I think? It sounds like it's a hot summer's day. That's how loud it is.
Yeah.
Oh, burpage, I do apologise. Also, I have turned up the bit rate on Streamlabs a little bit, so could be that as well. Let's have a look at what we've missed on chat. Candygram says, I've also used the Elegoo Standard Grey non-ABS-like resin and I've had excellent results with it.
Yeah.
I bought some transparent resin in a dye kit, but I haven't tried using it yet, says Candygram.
No, I've only ever used the grey resin. It's just like, for me, it's primer colour.
Exactly.
And it works. It saves me having to keep emptying out my resin vat as well, because it's I
suppose clear resin's great if you need to make like canopies and things, isn't it? Sounds really obvious, but it's like if you need to make clear parts, duh.
Yeah.
Like if you've got a model kit and you mess up the canopy, just print another one.
Print another one. Job done.
Yeah. Standard grey. I have the green translucent plant-based one. Smells like warm engine oil. It printed well. Is it me? Is it just me, right? Or you know, like when you've got an old car?
Yeah.
And you can get two different smells from an engine. You get the burning oil smell from like an old Mark II Fiesta or Escort. That's that kind of oil on the rocker cover that's just hot, and it means you've got a leak somewhere.
Yeah.
But then there's also that engine oil, but it's not from a leak that's burnt off on the top of your rocker cover. It's that pleasant old engine oil smell. Is it me, or is that just a brilliant smell?
Oh, it's the ultimate smell, mate.
Yeah, like old car engine.
Car engine smell. Especially if you take the oil filler cap off and run the engine, you can smell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can smell. Oh.
It's like I could, if you sat me in a car, if you blindfolded me and sat me in a car and ran it, I could tell you if it was a car from the 1980s or not, just by the like an old Ford Escort or something. I don't mean a luxury car, I mean like a run-of-the-mill car.
Yeah, bread and butter car.
Yeah, because you'd hear the tappets going anyway. You know what an old Ford or Vauxhall engine sounds like.
It's sewing machine. Yeah, it's got to be a Ford or a Vauxhall.
You know, the pre-Zetec engines, but you'd have that smell, that kind of burnt oil smell. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, lived in.
Lived in. Takes me back to my first few cars until I bought a brand new car. My first few cars were all old, rusty. I had a Ford Escort that had a bonnet that would only close because you had to wrap, because there was garden baling wire wrapped around the hook on the frame of the bonnet that you wrapped around the radiator grille, because the frame of the bonnet was broken and it wouldn't lock. That was a bit rubbish. Where are we? To have a quick chat. Lol, hair on Colin must have been a pork pie cut.
Absolutely.
And he says, no worries, Fester, got to keep Foxx in Barry's tea.
Absolutely,
it's
mate.
More for Mama Foxx. If we ran out of Barry's tea, I'd have a mutant in my hands.
Oh, yeah.
No fate worse. I actually buy 2 boxes at a time. We buy 1,200 bags a go each time, just for safety purposes. Because it's not worth even thinking about running out of Barry's tea in this house. Life wouldn't be worth living. For me, anyway.
I think you would get the look.
Yeah, I'd get the kick in the arse. What name brand soap I missed it, asks Fez. It is the Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. If you just look up Masters Brush Cleaner on Amazon. I've got an Amazon store, so has Colin. I think we've both got it in our Amazon stores. Yeah, there's links under my videos for my Amazon store, and there's links under Colin's for his. So, yeah, Masters Brush Cleaner. Other ones are available, but I just like the Masters because it smells like lemon cheesecake. Rise Dam Design is in. Hey, Josh.
Hello, mate. How
Welcome, buddy. Right as we're just about to leave for the day, because we'll shut down in a minute. So apologies, we're about to just stop, but thank you for coming in. How have you done, Carl? What have you got up to? Where are you up to? What have you done? Where are you? Who are you? What day is it?
Doing all right. Let's do a bit of that. Done a bit on the dudes. I've just literally been doing a bit of chipping, bit of weathering, a little bit on the squig. Just fettling, really, mate.
Fettlingularities.
It's that itty bitty stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's just getting it ready for its dirt and contrast and grime and all the bits and bobs.
It's going to be satin varnished, and then it can have the streaking started now.
I can't decide, if chipping counts as weathering or actual base painting. I've not decided in my mind whether I consider it as a base layer or a weathering layer.
I tend to have the mindset that it's a basing layer.
Yeah, because I know it's technically weathering, but
you tend to put your streaking grimes and things like that, washes over that. So I treat it almost as like a base or a layer.
But it's weird because you do it after decals.
Yeah, but I've put no decals on.
No, you've got no decals for that. So I've always been like, is it weathering or is it? I'm leaning towards it's a base layer, not a weathering layer.
Yeah, it's one of them, It's just part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting question.
Yeah, that's where I've got to, mate.
Awesome sauce. It's looking fantastic, that, buddy.
It's getting there.
What do you think of chat? What do you think of Colin's big squig?
It's getting there. And don't forget, I've got 5 other squigs to build with this yet.
And like a load of dudes, and
Yeah, well, they're built. I've just got to paint them, so I'll dig them out and start them as well.
I can't help thinking you're going up with a whole shelf full of stuff that you've got the base colours down on, then you've moved on to the next build, and you're left at some point you're going to have 4 years worth of painting to actually do all in one go.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I know what you're like. You'll be like, well, I could start on the weathering on this one, but I want to make this other thing. So I'll start on that, and then I'll come back to this one.
It's one of them. I don't build to sell, do I? So I can take my time.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Andy McLeish says, Colin has his squig out in public. Ooh.
I know. Get your squigs here. Get your
squigs out.
Free for £1.
Free for £1. I'm torn, because all the Forge World stuff I've bought that I need to paint, I've bought it all to sell it, but I'm torn because I don't want to sell any of it because I want it for myself.
Well, I've got that big box full of stuff that needs painting now, so I'm kind of spoilt for choice at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I bet you just jump from thing to thing without finishing anything for ages because you've got the option of doing it.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You could just sit there, you could do a bit on this, you could do a bit on that. If you're at a certain stage on that, you can go, well, I can finish up that build or this build or that build.
Yeah.
I've still got my battle wagon that needs to be streaked and all that.
If you get bored with something, you can move on to the next bit on a different one.
So, yeah, keeps your interest going, doesn't it?
In a moment of epically epic timing, Dorkosaurus says, hello everyone, Foxx and Colin, hope everyone's doing well. Been working on the motorcycle.
Happy days, happy days.
Brilliant timing there, because we're just about to finish for the day, but thank you very much for coming in, Dorkosaurus. Yep, Jeff says, the big squig's looking great.
Yeah, the big squig, ironically called Gary.
Gary the big squig. Gary.
Gary the squig.
When you play Fallout 3 eventually.
Yeah.
Gary's a relevant name.
Absolutely. It's
Whoa.
like, yeah.
Angus Allen's put another super chat through. Angus, what are you doing, man? Dude, thank you massively, dude.
Are these for sharing or are these solely for Foxx? Because I don't want to stake a claim to anything that I'm not entitled to, mate.
We'll sort something out.
No, not at all, mate. But
Angus, massive thank yous. Very, very kind and generous of you. He says, cheers, Foxx and Col.
Bless him.
You're a lovely fella. It's not true what they say about you, Angus. You're a lovely, lovely fella.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we'll leave it there. I need to go and sort dinner out, or rather press some buttons on my computer to make all the magic food appear from the little Italian fella that looked rather swarthy and Turkish rather than Italian, but never mind.
Yeah, I reckon his name's Peter.
Peter. We had a guy who lived down the road called Pete the Greek. We called him Peter the Greek. I don't know. He wasn't Greek. We just called him Pete the Greek. I don't know why we called him that. Yeah, so anyway, yes, thank you everyone for watching. It's been lovely to have you with us. Big thanks to my very good friend over there, Colin. I don't know why I thank you for coming on, because it's half your show anyway.
Absolutely, mate. That's always a pleasure to spend Sundays with the wonderful people.
And the award-winning model making, yeah.
Did I just hear that right?
Yeah, I won an award. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, did you really? Oh, you kept that to yourself.
I know, I don't like bagging it. I don't like talking about it. You know, it makes me. I'm getting embarrassed. But, you know.
I'm an award-winning guru. You know. I'm surprised you haven't got that in your title on screen there.
Oh, I should have.
You didn't think of that, did you?
I was too busy being amazed that I won an award that I didn't write award-winning in the title. Dorkosaurus says, "Bye everyone. Glad you got to see me."
Oh, bless you. No worries.
Big
mate.
hugs, Dorkosaurus. Big hugs. Yep. Thank you everyone for coming in. Big hugs to Sai, who couldn't be with us today, but will be back with us next week as normal. But yes, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget, of course, if you want to support our channels, you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru or patreon.com/Festa67's workshop and become a patron, or you can press the join button underneath any of my content or Colin's content, or both, and become a member or a patron and support us that way. Don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, my live streams may be a bit ad hoc. I might try and do some in the Hangout this week for some of the partwork builds. So if you're a patron or a member, make sure to keep an eye on my Facebook and Twitters and stuff, because I'll post up like 5 minutes before I go in to say, I'm going in the Hangout now. Bye. So do come and join in if you are one of them. But until then, anything else from what's your plan? You never said what your plan was for this week.
Got A-Models Monday, haven't we?
A-Models, man. It's your... What's in store,
it's mine, yeah. It's a nice, easy one this week, folks. Wednesday, I'll be doing me at the bench with Dave.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Friday, we've got the Frolic. And then, obviously, Sunday brunch and this next week as well.
Yeah, and no doubt throughout the course of the week, you'll probably be in the Hangout as well at some point.
Yeah, I'll be in Zoom a few nights. I'm also going to be uploading and filming some more for the E-Models builds.
E-Models builds!
So, yeah, busy week.
Busy week. Well, I say I might try and do some filming on the Imperial Night, but I might not.
Absolutely, mate.
We shall see. But yes, so until then, take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you all tomorrow for the E-Model show, but until then, I shall say, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome, like Dirty Great Big Squig.
Absolutely.
Go be awesome, like Colin and me, because we're awesome. And until next time, I shall say...
Adios, amigos.
Oh, you cheap tart! Stealing my lines! Oh, I never. Such rudeness. Bye!
Bye!